In Jamaica, New York 55 Sports presents Red Storm Football. This afternoon, St. John's entertains the Golden Griffins of Canisius. Well, hi again, everybody. I'm Van Landers along with CJ Papa on a miserable Saturday afternoon. Both teams looking to bounce back for CJ from disappointing efforts last week. They turned the football over. Both teams ended up with defeats.
That's right. St. John's had 4 turnovers, losing to Siena last week. Canisius losing a tough game, again blowing a fourth-quarter lead to Fairfield. Defenses will have to step forward today because of the bad weather.
Well, Canisius defensively has been very strong the last few years. One of the premier teams in the nation last year. This year also very strong.
Well, they're very big up front. They have one guy who's nearly 300 pounds, and Brian Swatland. He's on the right side. He'll go up against Eduardo Ramos, who's starting for the first time here for St. John's on the left side of their offensive line. And they also have a kid named Scott Dockett, preseason All-America. He's a very good player.
Offensively, they like to run the football, but they've been getting a spark from a kid coming off the bench by the name of Brian Rowland.
Well, the quarterback came in against Siena, and he had a terrific fourth quarter, 4 touchdowns he led them to, and he's been the starter ever since. He's been the MAC Conference Rookie of the Week 3 times. A very good arm. One problem, though, he doesn't really pick up his second and third reads.
Well, he had a sprained foot last week, did not start, came off the bench, and almost pulled out a victory for them. As far as St. John's is concerned, well, defensively, they have been outstanding all year.
Sure, Anthony Zito has been terrific. We saw him in St. Peter's. St. Peter's was getting some momentum in the second half. Zito, 3 sacks in the second half. He's been all over. He would be a problem for Brian Rowland.
The young offensive line starting to come together, although the last 2 weeks the offense has sputtered. Despite that fact, Mark Levine is putting up some impressive numbers.
Mark Levine is having a terrific year, and, you know, last year against this Canisius club, he had 4 touchdown passes. Maybe we can do the same thing again in this wind and rain here at the Silver Field.
All right, CJ will be back to chat with both coaches. Get set for St. John's football. Coming up next on New York 55. On the campus of St. John's University, we're moments away from kickoff, Canisius against St. John's. Well, it gives me a chance to speak with both of the coaches. First for Canisius, Coach Chuck Williams, and Coach, how you doing? What about this weather will it affect your game plan?
Well, Saturday's a made to play football, you know that, and I don't know whether Bob and I were just talking about it. He's accusing me of bringing Western New York weather down here, because the last time, as you might remember, we played exactly the same conditions. No, I don't think both teams have to play in the same weather, and really we're just going to stick with our game plan.
Now, you've been an assistant coach for 35 years. Now a head coach for the first time in your coaching career. Was it worth the wait?
Oh, certainly. It's always worth the brass ring. You know, you wait for the one more shot at it. And to be honest about it, I love the X's and O's. And I never really aspired to being a head coach until I got to that particular point in my career, and I figured, hey, why not?
All right, Coach, thanks a lot, and good luck on a very, very rainy day here at St. John's. And Coach Bob Ricka, I got to ask you, rain, wind, how will it affect your game plan?
Well, CJ, the wind will have more an effect than the rain. The field is in excellent condition. It drains very, very well, so the water will not be the main problem outside of slipperiness on the kids' hands and things of that nature. It will be the wind, how you come back the wind, and that will be the problem.
Well, Coach, this is your home field, the AstroTurf. How does it hold the water? We're going to get a lot of rain this afternoon.
Plenty of rain, but you'll see, I don't think it'll be much of a factor. The kids, the footing should be fine. I don't anticipate seeing many slippages out there. Again, the wind will play more havoc.
All right, Coach, thanks a lot, and good luck this afternoon against Canisius. When we come back, we'll have the kickoff between St. John's and Canisius. You're watching St. John's football right here on WLNY, New York 55.
It's almost Election Day, so this year, why not celebrate and choose
watching it bounce out of the end zone is Shane Hurd, and the Golden Griffins will put the ball in play 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line. And the Canisius quarterback, young Brian Rowland. As we mentioned, he's come off the bench in a couple of games, including last week, nearly pulled one out against Fairfield. And there's his numbers, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's a guy who makes things happen on the field. And we'll give you the rest of the lineup in just a moment. They've got a real workhorse running back by the name of Nick Adenolfi. And he will line up as the single back behind the quarterback, Adenolfi, wearing number 19. And he'll get the handoff and try to get a couple of yards as he picks up about 2, crossing over to the 22-yard line. But he should have his hands on the ball quite a bit today. As we take a look at the starting lineup, Spurnak, Frisbis, Ditzel, he leads them, the tight end in receptions. Adenolfi, the tailback, and Unitas, the fullback. And the offensive line, it's a big one.
That's right. Springler, Maricol, Shelley, Krug, and Zarate.
Actually, Matt Marriott is in as the starting center, replacing Shelley. He was out with a sprained ankle and is back in the lineup. So let's call it 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line for the Golden Griffins. 3-4 on the year, coming off a loss last week to Fairfield, 21-14. Now they line up. They show a lot of formations, and we get our first flag of the day. That's something that St. John's was concerned about, a lot of the formations, preparing for a lot of them, because they can really fool you.
I tell you, when you give a lot of looks to a defense, they really have to make an adjustment, and especially on a wet field like this, you get a lot of looks to one side, do a misdirection to the other, someone might slip, could break something.
The illegal procedure against the Golden Griffins, so that'll cost them 5. It'll make it 2nd and 13, and move the football back to the 17-yard line. Adenolfi has been bothered by a cold. He's a workhorse, as we said. Unitas now lines up as the fullback. They send a man in motion to the near side. And the handoff to Adenolfi, and he's tripped up. Excellent penetration by St. John's as they get in very quickly. And let's take a look at that defense. That was Greg Dalcolo starting at defensive line, picking up the tackle there. Holtz has had a tremendous year, the freshman. Hossein and Feast, we'll be getting a feature on Feast coming up a little bit later, along with Anthony Zito.
And Rich Rodriguez, one of the only senior on this team. Kraft, Mooney, Chambers. Chambers a nice surprise for Coach Bob Ricca.
Chambers and Kelski have been alternating at the cornerback spot. So it is now 3rd and 13. No gain on that last play. And they'll look to screen it, deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Elliot Holtz, number 72, was the man, I believe, got a hand on it, and it might have it was intended for Nick Adenolfi.
Now, in that sort of situation, backed up against your own goal line, they try and run a quick screen to Adenolfi. Maybe he gets something and get some yards, but they'll have to punt. Take another look. Watch the surge. There's Elliot Holtz, number 72, and the ball was tipped, it looked like, by Rich Hossein, number 92.
Aaron Wisco will do the punting. He is the all-time punting leader on this team, standing back at the 5. St. John should get excellent field position. Line drive, end-over-end kick. James Morton will just let this bounce. Takes a St. John's bounce across midfield to be down at around the 47-yard line.
When a punt comes down like that, Barry, you have to be aware of where the ball is, because if it hits you near the receiving team, it's a live ball, and it could be a fumble.
So the Red Storm get excellent field position on their first possession. They'll take over at the 47-yard line of the Golden Griffins. Quarterback Mark Levine will bring his club to the line of scrimmage. They'll work from an offset I formation here. Patrick Keita, 34, is the fullback. Jermaine Creighton, 22, the running back. And they'll go to Creighton, and he's stopped at the line of scrimmage. And no gain. Big number 98, Scott Dockett, breaking up the play.
Well, let's take a look at St. John's offense. Levine, DeLeo, Farris is not starting today. James Morton will be in there, the freshman. Cheliotis, Creighton, the fullback, Patrick Keena. On the offensive line, the guys be tested. Paul and Ramos going up against 2 preseason All-Americans on the right side. Gordon, Donardi, and Gaines.
So a loss of 2 on that play. Creighton, who had 148 yards against this team last year, stopped after losing 2. Levine on the roll to the left. Has a man wide open. It's Gus Cheliotis. And Cheliotis close to the first down. Shoved out of bounds at around the 40-yard line by strong safety P.J. Rakoski.
St. John's running a play action right into the teeth of the Canisius defense. The strong part of the Canisius defense, 2 preseason All-Americans on the right side. Swatland 94, Dockett 98. They got some blocking, and that opened up Cheliotis coming across the middle.
This is a defense that only gives up 300 yards a game. And as we mentioned, they have been playing very well. And Levine's numbers, you see 11 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions, and almost 200 passes thrown. So a big 3rd and let's call it about 2. Creighton will try to pick it up, turns the corner, and has the first down. Creighton, with that speed, able to turn the corner. And Darian Knoll coming up from his quarterback spot, number 32, to make the stop. But you saw the Creighton speed getting around Scott Dockett, the right defensive end.
Well, Jermaine Creighton's known as a hard runner, a guy who can kind of run you over, but he also has some speed, and he gets to the outside quickly. He did it there, gets a first down. I thought that was two-down territory anyway, Barry.
Yeah.
In this sort of rain. I think you're not going to see many punts from 40 yards in.
Creighton needs 121 yards coming into play today to reach 4,000 in his brilliant career. Only Anthony Russo has more yards rushing at St. John's. Creighton again gets the call, tugged at from behind. Excellent penetration by Brian Swatland, big number 94, who got a piece of him. And you talked about Swatland in the pregame.
Well, Swatland is huge, 294 pounds, 6'4". You know, he's going up against Eduardo Ramos, who's 5'11", 243. This is a definite physical mismatch. He beat his man, got a hand on him, a big paw, and he just slowed him up. The rest of the Canisius defense swarming to make the tackle.
Now James Morton on second down at 10 lines up wide to the right. St. John's operating from the 34-yard line on 2nd and 9. Morton coming off a big game last week against Fairfield, against Siena rather, in the loss. Now a lot of time taken here, and we'll have a delay of game called against the Red Storm, so that'll cost him 5.
Oh, that is going to be a penalty that'll hurt. It'll push him back 5 yards. You have to know what you see when you get up to the line of scrimmage. You have a play. If you're going to check off, you got to do it quickly enough to get the play off, because you can't have those mistakes. That's going to hurt.
Peter DeLeo brings the play in from the sideline, replacing James Morton as a wide receiver. And DeLeo will line up at wide to the right. Backs are split. As we mentioned, Jermaine Creighton closing in on 4,000 yards. And Levine to throw. Has time. Open. And he has Cheliotis. Cheliotis trying to get the first down, stopped about 3 yards shy at around the 27-yard line. However, there's a flag back at around midfield. Could be a holding penalty way back around the 50-yard line.
Roughing the passer is being called on the Canisius defense.
Well, we saw the flag back at the 50. Usually you think that might be a hold, but that'll go against Canisius, so they'll get a first down out of this.
And more. Tack on 15 yards to the end of the play. This is a big penalty against Canisius.
Right, and Mark Gignay, the excellent sports information fellow from Canisius, was telling me that penalties really hurt Canisius earlier in the year, and hurt him last week when they blew a 14-13 lead to Fairfield, or rather in the closing seconds of their game.
Well, you really can't afford critical penalties.
So that'll give the Red Storm a first down at the let's call it the 13-yard line. As they'll line up with DeLeo wide to the right, number 89. Steve Calbera wide to the left. And Levine, we get a flag on the play.
Movement on the offensive line for St. John's. St. John's on the left side.
Remember, Eduardo Ramos is starting at left guard. Steve Gordon back in action at center. He had been out with an injury. And they're really missing Steve Fazzolari, who got hurt about 3 games ago, the normal left guard.
Well, watch the offensive line for St. John's. Watch to the left of your screen. There it was, left guard number 53, James Paul. He's your culprit. Sloppy play so far, a very sloppy day.
Actually, Paul lining up at left tackle there, outside Ramos. So it'll be 1st and 15, back at the 19-yard line for the Red Storm. On the draw, Creighton still going. He had been hit behind the line of scrimmage by Scott Dockett and able to break that tackle and finally taken down after he got back to around the, let's call it, 15-yard line. Pick up a 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, earlier on this drive, you saw Creighton's speed busting to the outside. That time you saw his power breaking through a tackle that would have been a tackle for a loss, making some of the yardage back.
This is a Canisius team that forces a lot of turnovers. They forced 28 turnovers this year. And Levine rolling out. He's got a block from Creighton. Good block by Creighton. Levine will run out of bounds and around the 10-yard line. It'll be shy of the first down. He picked up about 6 on the play, setting up a 3rd down call.
Well, we saw a play like that earlier where he rolled out to his left, and then he threw the ball to Cheliotis to make it out 8 yards. This time, it was wide open. He could run for about 8 or 9 yards, and that's what he did.
Well, Mark Levine came in better physical condition. He's quicker this year. St. John's wants to use his athletic ability, and they'd like to see him run when it presents itself. He'll roll to the right. He's got Creighton out there as a blocker as well, and dives to the 5. It'll be shy of the first down. Had to get to the 3. Sets up an interesting call here on 4th and about 2.5 for the Red Storm. And they're going to send on the kicking unit here. Christian Soto will come on to attempt his 6th field goal of the year.
Well within Christian Soto's range. We were watching him before the game started. He was taking field goals from about 40 yards out. Really wasn't having a problem with distance. That play was the same sort of play. They ran to the left side, they ran it to the right side, tried to make the first down.
Canisius was concerned with St. John's team speed, and St. John's is using the entire field against him. Kick will come from the 12, Calbera the holder. This will be a 22-yard field goal attempt for Christian Soto. From our end zone camera, kick is up, and the kick is no good. So a relative chippy missed by Christian Soto. How about the effect of the wind here today?
Oh, I tell you, when you look at the goalposts and you can see the little piece of paper hanging out, it's sort of swirling around. When you were on the field earlier, you really can't get a handle on where it's blowing, and maybe the wind gets into the mind of a kicker, and you started out maybe a little bit too much to the right, and you hope the ball's going to come back in, be pushed by the wind. I think you just got to try and kick it right in to the center and pray.
So Canisius defense holds there, and St. John's unable to take advantage of the good field position. And they'll start out handing off to Nick Adinolfi. Adinolfi normally carries the ball 33 times a game, had 50 carries, a school record against Iona. In the game he rushed for 151 yards, but not 100% today, they were telling us, bothered by a little bit of a cold and not feeling great.
And he probably won't feel great after today. When you take a look, he'll probably carry the ball 40 times, especially in this sort of weather. I don't know how much Canisius is going to want to open it up and throw the ball down the field.
We have seen at times this year St. John's defense bending but not breaking. They give up a lot of yardage on the ground to a lot of teams this year. 291 yards to the brilliant runner Green from Siena last week, but kept him out of the end zone. Again, Adinolfi tries the right side of the line, tripped up. Andrew Profit coming up from his linebacker spot, and also helping out on the play was Rick Hoseen. Rich Hoseen, the inside linebacker, who does such a great job with Rob Feast.
Well, when Adinolfi gets the ball, you pretty much know where he's going to run. He's going to follow his blockers inside the tackles. He's going to stay behind his offensive line. And there you see Anthony Zito. You'll see him all over the field. Left side, right side. He'll be rushing the passer here.
10 sacks for the Zito. Leads the club's 3rd and 5. They throw to the far sideline, and it is going to be incomplete. As battling for possession was Floyd Chambers, the intended receiver. On the far side was Joe Spiranak, number 2. And that ball floated up in the air, and not much on it.
St. John's came with the all-out blitz. Number 40, Rob Feast, was right in the middle trying to get the quarterback. Brian Rowland took 2 steps, lofted it up. And this win, that ball's going to really move around.
Wisco had a short punt. His first opportunity. Will get another punt here. This kick will come from about the 15. Morton is the deep man, standing back at his own 40. Wisco with Zito putting some pressure on. Poor kick. This one takes a good bounce over for Canisius. Takes a 20-yard bounce and will die at around the 41-yard line. Time out of the field. 6:36 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Watching St. John's football on New York 55. Jermaine Creighton with a short gain. St. John's taking over at their own 41-yard line. Hangs it out to about the 44. And they'll put it there, so it'll be 2nd down at 7. As you see Mark Levine, the junior from Freeport. Now bring his club to the line of scrimmage. Creighton 5 carries for 10 yards so far, so they've done an excellent job stopping him so far. He'll get the draw play up the middle and is about a half-yard shy of the first down. Good hole. Bill Goldsworthy to the stop, but Steve Gordon and Vic Denardi helping set up a nice block there.
Well, they really opened up the middle, and Creighton burst right through it, picking up 7 yards, close to a first down for St. John's.
Of course, we saw Creighton in our last New York 55 telecast have a near career day. What do you have, 212 yards against St. Peter's? St. Peter's last night almost beating Georgetown, 7-0, the MAC leader. 40-32 they lost yesterday.
Well, St. Peter's, we saw them, and they can really put some points on the board when things go right, when they don't turn the ball over.
A lot of good young talent. And play action fake. Levine in trouble, sidesteps one tackle, but will be down at the 49-yard line. Mike Fata put the initial pressure on, and Scott Dockett brought him down. Today's game is being brought to you by GMC, comfortably in command, the Tri-State GMC dealers. And by I Love New York. Barry Landers, C.J. Papa, as we'll get a punt coming here from Mike Houston, standing back at his own 35-yard line. So again, that Canisius defense stopping St. John's on a couple of big third down plays.
Well, Mike Fata really didn't bite, got in there. He's their team leader in sacks. He sees the quarterback with the ball. He wants him.
That was number 93. Fata has 7.5 sacks. And Radulowicz will watch this bounce. St. John's wants it down the ball. And finally will die at around the 16-yard line, about a 35-yard kick.
Hey, you know what was interesting about that is the first man down the field was number 72, Elliot Hulse, the nose guard, freshman sensation for St. John's. He has a lot of enthusiasm. He plays this game hard. He goes 100% all the time.
So see what Brian Rowland can do, and Nick Adinolfi, who's been their bread and butter rusher. They have stayed primarily on the ground here, taking over 1st and 10 at the 17-yard line. Sophomore quarterback will hand off. Adinolfi trying to turn the corner, but will not get away. St. John's with excellent defense. Josiah Moody coming up from his strong safety spot, number 17, and he handled him easily.
Well, I think it's going to be hard for Canisius to move the ball and really make any yards if they're going to just stay running the ball with Nick Adinolfi, because St. John's can cheat and come up the line, as you saw there with Josiah Mooney.
Adinolfi doesn't have the breakaway speed. He generally gets most of his yards between the tackles. Picked up 1 yard on that play, stopped by Moody, 2nd and 9 from the 18. Here's the pitch, the toss to sweep. Adinolfi trying to turn the corner, got by one man, and will be dragged down on the far side of the 25-yard line. Again, Josiah Mooney over there along with Richie Rodriguez, and Rodriguez trying to make some history today, isn't he?
Well, that's right. Rodriguez has 14 interceptions. If he gets one more, he'll become the career leader for interceptions here at St. John's.
Richie Rodriguez, number 20, had a huge game in the great win over Duquesne a couple of weeks ago down in Pittsburgh.
Adinolfi's run wide twice. Let's see if they try and bust him up the middle to make 2.5 yards for a first down.
3rd and 2 as he picked up about 7 on that last play. And they go to Adinolfi, and he will be stopped shy of the first down.
I don't think he got it.
St. John's coming in very quickly defensively to break up the play. Eric Grizon, number 48. So it'll be another punt. And St. John's defense holds on 3rd down.
Well, this is certainly turning into a battle of field position. St. John's owning the field position here in this very fast first quarter.
Clock.
And we'll have to see if St. John's even tries to attempt to catch the punt here.
This will be the 3rd punt for Wisco. You see his average for the year. His last punt was a real short one, but got a big bounce of 20 yards. High snap. St. John's coming, but they get the kick off. Morton will take it at his own 39-yard line. Morton cannot get away. Beautiful open field tackle there for Canisius. Timeout on the field. We'll be right back. St. John's and Canisius are scoreless from De Silva Field. Calbera off his hands, and he'll set up a 2nd and 10 for the Red Storm. As Mark Levine now 2 for 3 for 22 yards. As you said, C.J. Poppins turned into a field position game. St. John's did have a great drive. 22-yard field goal missed by Christian Soto early in this quarter.
Well, St. John's opening up with a pass this time. Calbera couldn't keep his hands on it.
Terrible conditions on the field. It is raining heavily. We've got wind. But this AstroTurf field holds the water pretty well. Draw play for Creighton, and he is going absolutely nowhere. Scott Dockett, the 6'4", 233-pound preseason All-American, who's a hard hitter, forces fumbles, and has 25 career sacks with a big play there.
Well, that's a tackle for a loss. He's had 6 of them so far this year. He knows where the ball is, and he finds it right away.
Creighton 7 carries for 10 yards only. So both star running backs have been shut down so far by the 2 defenses we told you have been playing so well coming in to this afternoon's game. 3rd and 13. Passing situation for Levine. Play action. He's in trouble and will be sacked. That was a big problem for the Red Storm earlier. Mike Fada, who leads the team in sacks, gets his 8th and a half right there. 6'3", 230-pound junior from Chicotagua, New York.
I tell you, he's got good speed. He's a very good pass rusher. We'll take another look at this one. Watch to the left of your screen. The quarterback, Mark Levine, rolling out, and here he comes, untouched. Patrick Keenan missed the block on him.
Fada's done a great job replacing Frank Zabawa, who was the MAC co-defensive player of the year at defensive end last year. And trying to get away with a good return here, Wadalowicz, and he's finally down at the 42-yard line, about a 15-yard return for Dan Wadalowicz. Wadalowicz, of course, is filling in for the injured Justin Drew, who was their preseason All-American wide receiver and also an excellent punt returner who got hurt earlier in the year.
That's right. He's out for the season. A broken shoulder blade. He was 12 catches, 89 yards. He already had a touchdown. You know, All-American candidate as a punt returner. That's a tough player to replace. Bertulowicz doing a good job there.
Well, the offensive line being talked to right there by Chris Camera. He's the offensive line coach. And tripped up trying to turn the corner, Quentin Thompson, who's now in the ball game at the tailback spot. He's an exciting freshman from Buffalo who last week, number 20, had a 35-yard run in the loss last week.
Well, they like to try and run him on the outside, number 20, Quentin Thompson, because he's got speed. One of his problems, he has a little tendency to fumble because he runs in a straight-up style. At that time, Elliott Holtz, the nose guard, getting outside quicker than the running back.
Nose guard with 61 tackles, third on the team. That's how well he's played this year. That's the end of the first quarter. We are scoreless from St. John's University, the Golden Griffins of Canisius, and the Red Storm of St. John's on New York 55. Field position. We have no score. Canisius and St. John's begin the second quarter. It'll be 2nd and 13 for the Golden Griffins at their own 39-yard line. Working out of an offset eye, slot to the near side. Quarterback is the youngster, Roland. Plenty of time, Roland. He's going to be possibly taken down. It will be Zito, was the man who hit him for his 11th sack of the year. But he had great coverage downfield by St. John's as they finally forced the sack because of the coverage. And it was Zito coming up with the big play.
Zito staying with the quarterback, watching where he was going. He was able to make the play, but, you know, Brian Rowland had another half second. I thought he had number 2, Joe Spirnak, open in the flat. We'll take a look. Now watch him come out to the right side. He's looking for a receiver. I thought right about there he had a chance for Spirnak, and here comes Zito. Play over.
Well, Zito's got such great speed. He's not a big guy, only 195 pounds. From the shotgun on 3rd and long, Rowland will throw incomplete. He was looking for the tight end, actually Michael Menudo, number 86. And he'll set up another punting situation. And there is Zito checking out his shoe.
Well, last week Zito had 9 tackles, 3 tackles for a loss, 1 forced fumble. Terrific player. He has 17 tackles for a loss coming into this game so far this year. He knows how to get the ball carrier.
And we mentioned now with 11 sacks to lead St. John's, including that one. Oncoming from Wisco. End over end kick. Martin will take it at the 25-yard line. Sidesteps a tackler, cuts back, and Morton down at around the 38-yard line. About a 9 or 10-yard return. P.J. Rakoski on the tackle for the Golden Griffins. And St. John's will put it in play in a scoreless second quarter. Excited here about the soccer team. They'll be playing tonight, trying to wrap up their Big East season against Villanova.
I tell you, when we saw St. John's and the soccer team, the defense has really packed it in. You know, the club and Coach Dave Mazur, they're looking for the tournament where they can't do that in the NCAA tournament.
Big East tournament starts next week. St. John's in first place, trying to defend their national championship. That game, by the way, tonight here at 7:30 as Creighton turns the corner. And short gain, maybe about 5 yards, brought down on the play by Darian Knoll, the right cornerback. But Creighton has been pretty well stuck by this very tough Canisius defense. Speaking about excitement, St. John's basketball starting November 15th. We'll have it for you. season opener against Lafayette, 22nd against St. Francis, December 9th against Colgate, December 17th against Manhattan. Well, Franny Fischella very excited about his club, and we'll talk a little St. John's basketball later with CJ. 2nd and 5 at the 43-yard line after the 5-yard pickup by Creighton. Gets the call again, and will be submarine, snowed under at the line of scrimmage. Joe Domagala, number 78, and Max Carey coming up to make the hit. Creighton now held at just 15 yards on 9 carries.
Not a game where you're going to pad your rushing average, especially with the way the rain is coming down, the way the wind is, the offense extremely conservative for St. John's. No one wants to make a mistake and make that critical turnover. I think St. John's going to have to open up and throw the ball here. They've got to get a first down and get it into Canisius territory for the first time.
Well, it's passing situation here, 3rd and about 5. Levine dropping straight back. Looking, umps it off. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage. Big number 94, Brian Swatland, at 6'4", deflecting that pass away that was intended for Patrick Keena.
I think Mark Levine got rid of that ball a little bit earlier than he wanted to because he heard the footsteps of number 93, Mike Thada, coming in from the left side. He said, I'm getting rid of this ball. I don't want to be sacked again.
Did his first 2 passes, now 2 for 4 for 22 yards. So the punting marathon continues. Mike Houston will punt from about his own 35-yard line. Watulewicz is back to receive the kick. Sails it to the far side. Watulewicz calling for a fair catch, but we'll watch this one bounce. And it will bounce out of bounds at around the 19-20-yard line, where Canisius will have the ball. Trailing, or rather in a scoreless first quarter, St. John's with the best scoring opportunity. They drove downfield to about the 5-yard line, and then it was Christian Soto missing a 22-yard field goal attempt.
Well, we'll have to wonder if St. John's will get that close again. You know, this is a game that's going to be a battle of field position that's won in the middle of the field, and who can make a turnover and get it down.
Today's St. John's Red Storm football brought to you by GMC Tri-State Truck Dealers, comfortably in command. And by I Love New York. Barry Landers, C.J. Papa, early second quarter, no scores. They work from the I formation. Canisius with the ball to throw on first down is rolling up the sideline, and it's going to be knocked away. Knocked away that time by St. John's defender Floyd Chambers as the pass was intended downfield for Jake Coppola, a freshman wide receiver, 5'9", 150-pounder.
Well, Floyd Chambers doing a terrific job staying with his man all the way and deflecting the ball at the last moment. Nice play.
So a little bit of a surprise. Roland now 0 for 4. Came in with a 44% completion percentage. And trying to turn the corner is Nick Adinolfi, but we have a flag on the play. And we'll see what will happen. It could be a holding penalty. We haven't had too many penalties on this sloppy day so far, CJ, but Adinolfi, a very short game. Our referee is Steve Mataranti. He discusses things over there with the umpire, Vincent Imbraglio.
Legal motion.
So, it'll go against the Golden Griffins. And the officials trying to keep the ball dry with this.
There you see number 40, Rob Theses. Now, one of the leaders on this St. John's defense. He calls the plays, middle linebacker. We have a nice halftime chat with him and Rich Rodriguez, a couple of guys who make the St. John's defense go.
Rob Thies, their leading tackler, and real heart and soul. He's a throwback, and Richie Rodriguez also a guy that coaches just love to have those kind of players on the team.
That's right. And Bob Ricker says players make coaches better. He's got a couple that make him better.
2nd and 15 from the 15-yard line as they work out of the I formation on the draw play. Adinolfi turns upfield and picks up good yardage. Adinolfi with his best run of the day, shy of the first down by a couple of yards as he got that for about 13 yards to the 28-yard line.
Well, the left side of the Canisius defense, that offensive line doing it there. Tim Springer, 72-53, Chad Malakov opening a big hole for Nick Adinolfi, and It doesn't take him too long to get through it and pick up some yards.
Adonalfi averages 106 yards a game. He's now carried the ball 8 times for 29 yards. It's 3rd and 2 for the Golden Griffins. Unitas is the fullback, and behind a Unitas block, Adonalfi will push for the first down and cross the 30 to the 31-yard line. He'll get the first down there. Rob Feast on the tackle, but not before the powerful 6-foot, 89-pounder got the first down.
Well, let's take another look. Watch Adonalfi bust through right there behind a nice block, make a first down.
Richie Hoseen looked like he had a shot at trying to wrap him up, but he was able to break through that initial tackle. Man in motion, and Adonalfi gets the call, dives forward to around the 34-yard line, where he stopped after a short pickup. Elliott Holtz on the tackle, the nose guard. Talk about quickness. We've talked about Holtz. He has 8.5 sacks out of the nose guard position.
You don't really see that from a nose guard. Usually someone in there keeps the line together, stops the run. This guy's quick, and he can get by the center. It's almost like he knows the snap count.
3-yard pickup, so it's 2nd down and 7. Canisius in a scoreless first half. Last time they beat St. John's was on this field back in 1993. They've lost 3 straight to the Red Storm. Here's Zito from the blind side, and the ball is loose. Zito with a ferocious hit from the blind side, and getting up slowly is Brian Rowland. Chad Marica recovering the football, number 53, as what a hit by Zito.
All right, well, watch Nick Zito. We're isolated on him. Number 24, untouched from the right side of the defense. Here he comes, lays the hit. The ball comes loose. He didn't see where the ball was, and it was recovered by Chad Marico for Canisius.
Ball back at the 25-yard line. So it's 3rd and 16. Let's see if St. John's blitzes again. Zito's coming. Pass to the far side, incomplete, as it was intended for Jason Prisbiz. Defending on the play was Floyd Chambers.
That's the thing with Anthony Zito. He's either on the right side or the left side. Play before he gets a sack, he's on the right side. He moves to the left side. He really has free reign to create havoc for the quarterback.
He's like a rover out there. 2nd sack for Zito. And St. John should get good field position here, as the punt will come from Aaron Wisco. He'll kick from about the 15. Morton standing back at his own 40. Morton will watch this one get by him. Oh, that does not make Bob Ricca happy. That'll cost St. John's about 15, maybe 20 yards, and it dies inside the 20 and around the 19.
Well, I tell you, that's a critical mistake by the St. John special teams.
That's a 55-yard kick.
But in fairness to the freshman, James Morton, he's down there all by himself. He's got to cover the entire field. He just couldn't get there. Maybe St. John's needs to put 2 people back to prevent that next time Canisius punts.
Well, with the wind, sometimes it can play havoc down there. We're not down there. It is whipping, really, as we look at the trees on the far side here at the Silver Field. Creighton turns the corner, has some blocking down the sideline. Tripped up, knocked out of bounds after he picked up a first down. Brought down by Dan Watulowicz, but not before he crossed the 30 up to around the 32-yard line, about a 13-yard run.
Well, just how bad is the weather? Well, take a look at the trees Barry just mentioned. The wind coming down, the rain coming down, the swirling wind. It's tough to play.
Creighton with his best run of the day, a 13-yard pickup. 1st and 10. Creighton gets the call again. No hole, as he is taken down at the line of scrimmage by Brian Swatland, the preseason All-American, 3-year starter, who disrupts offenses with his size. You get a guy playing 1AA non-scholarship football at 6'4", 294, you're going to disrupt a lot of offenses.
And if you're the defensive coordinator, you just say, I'm lucky, and you put him out there, and you let him control the line of scrimmages, what a man of that size can do.
You see the time remaining in this scoreless first half, 2nd and 11. Loss of 1 on that play. Creighton and Keena in the backfield. Behind Levine, who will throw here. Levine with time, stepping up, hit as he got the pass off, and he was hit by Scott Dockett. Matt Mike Fotto was also putting pressure on the quarterback.
Well, Levine was stepping up on that play, and the offensive line blocking collapsed. You can't keep preseason All-American Scott Dockett and Mike Fotto, who's got 8.5 sacks. He has one today already, away from the quarterback that long.
We mentioned Dockett has 25 career sacks, 4 shy of the school all-time record. So again, St. John's faced with long yardage on 3rd and 11. Levine rolling right. He's got Creighton out there to block, and it's knocked down, almost intercepted by P.J. Rakoski. And it'll set up a punting situation. Rakoski and Shane Hurd, a couple of Jersey City kids who were playing before some of their home fans who've come over from Jersey to watch the game today.
Oh, that's right. Rakoski and Hurd, they both went to St. Peter's Prep. Rakoski from Jersey City, Hurd from Bayonne, same neighborhood. They go to the same college. What a nice play to knock that ball down.
There are a couple of the better ones around, 2-year starters. So again, Mike Houston into punt. St. John's unable to get the offense going here against this tough Canisius team. Low snap. And end-over-end kick. Watulowicz will take it at the 40-yard line. Time out of the field. The scoreless game continues. 7:15 to go in the first half. We'll be right back on New York 55.
Hi, I'm Sam Mercier, the latest winner of the
Down on the Silva Field. By the way, at halftime, they will have the official dedication of this field, De Silva Field. The father of John De Silva, whom this field is named after, will be here, along with Father Harrington, St. John's president. Draw play out of Nafi, and Holtz again getting in, breaking up the play. A loss of about 5 on the play. Elliot Holtz meeting in the backfield.
Well, I tell you, I think up here in our press box, we could hear the entire St. John's bench yell, draw. Everyone knew that play, flushed it out quickly. Nice play by the St. John's defense.
That was the 20th tackle for a loss this year by Elliot Holtz, the 5'9" fire plug, 205-pound freshman from Baldwin, who's been a delight for St. John's, starting a lot of young players on the offense. Thompson taken down in the backfield once again. St. John's Elliot Holtz did it again.
We just mentioned he had 20 tackles for a loss this year, lead the team, make it 21. Boy, like I said earlier, it's like he knows the snap count. He gets in there. And, Quentin Thompson's a quick guy. He gets to the outside. He gets, to the outside of his tackles pretty quickly. Holtz beat him to the punch there.
He's only 5'9", 205. The coach has said if he were bigger, if he had some height, this kid could be playing at a real high level. But he is a terrific player for the Red Storm. 3rd and 22. They've lost 12 on the first 2 plays. Zito looking to blitz. Zito is coming hard. Pass floats up there. It's going to be intercepted by Rodriguez. He has the school record. Rodriguez down the sideline and down inside the 25 and around the 23 or 24.
I tell you, Rich Rodriguez, his 15th career interception. Congratulations to him.
That's his 6th of the year, as Richie Rodriguez comes up with a big play for the St. John's defense.
There he is. Rich Rodriguez, his 15th interception, one more than Kurt Bitzer and Frank Savelli. Terrific player, a senior. He's a leader. This could be a turning point.
Roland 0 for 6, including that interception. So let's see if St. John's can take advantage of the turnover here. Creighton. And spins away. Great balance by Creighton. Looked like they had him behind the line of scrimmage. Max Carey looked like he had him for a loss on the play. He was able to spin away. Great balance. And finally taken down by Scott Dockett, but not before he picked up big yardage.
Well, I tell you, St. John's has the momentum, and the momentum was with James Creighton on that one. Busting through the tackle attempt by Carey and picking up some valuable yardage.
Let's call it 2 yards to go for the first down. Creighton gets the call, skips into the hole, has the first down as he cracks to the 10, about a 5-yard gain. Mike Fliss on the tackle, and the Red Storm knocking on the door right here. Creighton's figures now a little better than they were earlier. Now 13 carries for 41 yards.
Well, earlier today we talked about turnovers, and in fact, Canisius had made some critical turnovers at the end of the game earlier. With this critical turnover, St. John's looking to capitalize.
Well, you see, Creighton had big numbers last year along with Mark Levine. And right now, St. John's on the doorstep, 1st and 10. Levine throwing, complete to Cheliotis. Rakoski had him wrapped up and finally pulled down by Mike Fliss. Good job by Rakoski as he held on before Fliss helped finish off the play.
Well, you know, last year when St. John's beat Canisius 41-28, the 41 points was the most given up by Canisius defense last year. It was also the most they had given up since September of '92 when they gave up 45 against St. Lawrence. It really was a game for Canisius last year that turned their season around. They lost their last 4 games after that.
They won their first 5 really with a surprise of the MAC last year. On second down, Creighton at the 5 and will be stood up and taken down as he got just outside the 5. It'll set up a third down play. Mike Futta, number 93, one of the tacklers.
It's flagged down.
And we get a stoppage in play here with exactly 4 minutes on the clock. And it looks like St. John's has called unsportsmanlike conduct penalty coming up against St. John's. And the official call from Steve Mataranti talking things over with the Canisius players.
I think it's something that happened at the end of that play. This is almost as big as a turnover. You're at the 5-yard line. It will be third down, and now you're back to the 20-yard line. And with the way now St. John's is going right into the teeth of the wind, it really is coming right into their faces. That's a critical turnover.
The wind is blowing heavily from right to left. The wind is pouring down that same direction. You could see sheets of the rain. And St. John's forced back to the 20-yard line. So it is third and goal from the 20. Levine rolling, looking for Calbera, way shy of the first down. They'll rule it incomplete. He was hit hard by Darian Nall, the junior, out of Calcium, New York, number 32. And St. John's will be forced here, possibly to try for a long field goal into the teeth of this wind.
Oh, it'll be a very long field goal, and there comes Christian Soto, who missed a chip shot with the wind earlier. I think he's just got to hit it right for the center and give it all he's got, because this is going to be a tough one.
Soto missed a 22-yarder earlier. He's 5 for 11, including a 46-yard field goal to help beat Central Connecticut in the season opener. And this one will come from the 27-yard line. It'll be a 37-yard attempt directly in the center of the field. Calbera is a former quarterback. He could throw the football, threw a touchdown pass earlier. This time they'll kick it. It'll go up. It will be no good. It had the legs, but it just went a little bit to the left. Time out of the field. We've got 3:29 to go. St. John's, nothing. Canisius, nothing. We'll be back on New York 55 in just a very poor day for football. 3:29 to go in this scoreless first half. Barry Landers along with C.J. Papa. Adenofi looking to turn the corner down the right sideline. Knocked out of bounds by Floyd Chambers. Adenofi up until that carry had carried the ball 11 times for 31 yards. And quarterback Mr. Rowland, Brian Rowland, 0 for 6, including that big interception. But St. John's unable to take advantage of the turnover.
Well, I tell you, what you saw there, Barry, is running to the outside. They're trying to open up the middle of the field because that's where Nick Adenofi feels more comfortable running.
He picked up 11 on that play, so now give him 42 yards on 12 carries. Ball spotted at the 32-yard line. Adenofi, no hole here. Elliot Holtz, one of the tacklers who met him early. And also Andrew Prophet has been playing a lot better of late, playing at one of the outside linebacker spots. He started the season as a starting tight end.
Well, you know, when you pull a guy over from offense to defense, you know it's going to take some time to adjust to what has to happen. You know, he's really filling in for Bill Daly, who's been out with an injury, and Prophet has come in, and he's really starting to find himself.
Clock ticking, 2:40 to go. Send a man in motion. That's Stitzel, the tight end. Ball deflected at the line of scrimmage, almost intercepted. Prophet had his hands on the ball. And now Rowland is now 0 for 7. Andrew Prophet off the deflection at the line of scrimmage should have had the St. John's interception. It would have been the second of the day for the Red Storm, but pressure put on by the Red Storm right there.
Let's take another look. Watch the pressure. Inside, Rowland hit by who else?
Guess who?
Anthony Zito.
Anthony Zito And that ball popped loose, so it's 3rd and 10 from the 32. 2:28 to go in the scoreless first half. On the draw play, Adenalfi will not pick up enough for the first down. Stopped at the 35-yard line. And it was Floyd Chambers along with Elliot Holtz and Richie Hosine on the tackle.
I'll tell you, Rich Hosine did a good job there. The Canisius offense trying to almost fake out St. John's, opening the hole, letting Zito run by the play, but Hosine stayed where he had to be to make the tackle.
Well, the punting battle continues. Aaron Wisco to punt from about the 25. Morton hopes to field this one. Remember the last time he was back to get a punt, he let it go by him, and it cost St. John's about 20 yards. St. John's coming. They looked to block it, but could not. Morton will watch this one bounce, take a Canisius roll inside the 30, and St. John's will have the ball with 1:36, now 1:35 to go here in the first half.
It looked like number 19, Ken Kraft, got a piece of that ball and just deflected it a little. Really didn't change it too much, but they were close.
Well, they've given up 5 touchdowns, Canisius, this year on interceptions and fumble returns. Today's game is being brought to you by the GMC Tri-State Truck Dealers, comfortably in command, and by I Love New York. Well, let's see if St. John's can get something going here. They've missed a couple of field goals. They've had the better scoring opportunities. Creighton slowed up and will be taken down. It was Scott Dockett once again with the stop, but initial pressure, they're getting into that St. John's backfield, breaking up some plays.
Well, I tell you, St. John's missed the golden opportunity on their last possession to put the ball in. You know, you start around your 30-yard line, you're going into the teeth of the wind. It's the end of the half. I think St. John's will be concerned with just running out the clock here and not committing a critical turnover deep in their own zone.
Mark Levine moving his club into the teeth of the wind and the rain. Now will go down. Scott Dockett will get credit for the tackle. Mike Fada again putting the initial pressure. St. John's has had trouble containing those two bookends on the outside. Dockett 98 and Fada 93.
I'm surprised Canisius didn't call a timeout here. Being 3rd and 12. They could have maybe get the ball back with about 30 seconds left, I think. And here's a timeout. Well, Canisius, I would have to say 18 seconds too late. The end of that play was about 59 seconds on the clock. Should have called it then. They had a lot more time to play with.
Well, Levine has been sacked 3 times today. St. John's has given up a lot of sacks this year. 37 to be exact. As you look at the weather conditions here, part of the crowd, the sparse crowd here at St. John's University on this miserable November day. And coming up at halftime, we'll have a special feature on a couple of the St. John's stars, Rob Feast and Richie Rodriguez. We'll also chat with Father Donald Harrington, president of St. John's University, and you're going to have a special guest too.
That's right, Father James Marr, who's running in the New York City Marathon tomorrow. Let's hope the weather gets a little bit nicer for him.
And Father Marr, involved with a soup kitchen in Brooklyn, does a great job at St. John's Soup Kitchen that they sponsor in Bed-Stuy.
Right.
Timeout taken right here. Jermaine Creighton needs now 75 yards to reach the 4,000 mark in his outstanding career, the senior from Wyandanch.
Now the weather is really getting worse, Barry.
Yep. Fortunately, you're playing on this AstroTurf field, but it's still St. John's facing a 3rd and 16. Levine rolling left, chased by Dockett. Dockett falls, and so does Levine say, I'm going to go down right here. So Dockett was chasing Levine. He stumbled, and then Levine went down.
Well, I tell you, when Levine went down, he was down. He got hit. I thought the refs might throw a flag late, but they didn't. I thought it was a late hit. Really did. But timeout called by Canisius. 26 seconds left on the clock. They'll probably get it back with about 20 seconds left after this punt. They're really going to rush for it and try and block it.
Yeah, I would have to think that's your call right here, because with 26 seconds, you don't really have a whole lot of time to play with it on the offensive side. So you want to block here, maybe you're going to recover it and go into the end zone. They've done that twice this year, blocking a punt and a field goal.
Mike Fliss, number 24, has 2 blocks.
And last week they returned a fumble recovery 87 yards for a touchdown. Max Carey did it. So used to the punt from about the 10. 26 seconds to go. It's 4th and 16. Low snap Houston gets it away. Good job to field that kick. Nobody back for Canisius. And this one will take a Canisius bounce and die as Holtz will down it inside the 50 at around the 48-yard line. So Canisius will have 15 seconds. And it'll be interesting to see what Coach will do right here. See if Chuck Williams will air it out. Interesting guy, Chuck Williams. I know we chatted with him before the game.
Well, very nice man, knows his football. You know, he was an assistant coach for 35 years. Now he's the head coach for the very first time, and I asked him, you know, was it worth it? And he said, yeah, he's, you know, you get a chance to wear the brass ring, and, you know, he likes being the head coach.
Why not? Hey, by the way, big night here at St. John's, not only for the soccer game and this horrible weather, but they've got the big dinner coming up tonight, the tip-off dinner here at St. John's at Alumni Hall. You can call them at 1-888-GO-STORM for more information. They're standing by. You possibly can get a ticket as late as this afternoon. Ready for Schiller's Club? We'll have an exhibition game on Tuesday against Marathon Oil. Deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. As Elliot Holtz, I believe, was the man who got his hand on it. And right now, Roland is 0 for 8, so he has not completed a pass in this first half. And the only yardage they've picked up have been primarily on the running plays of Nick Adinolfi and a couple of attempts by Thompson.
Well, I tell you, I think right now you maybe take a shot for the end zone because with 10 seconds left, I don't know if you can run a play quickly enough to get 15 yards to get it to about the 30 and maybe try, you know, a 38-yard field goal.
Just 10 seconds remaining, CJ, in this first half, so this will probably, for all intents and purposes, be the final play of the first half. Two wide receivers to the top of your screen. St. John's with a prevent defense here. And they'll throw incomplete on the side, looking that time for Spirnak. Clock stops with 4 seconds remaining. Now 0 for 9 is Mr. Rowland.
And he had Anthony Zito getting in there quickly.
Rowland is a transfer, by the way, from Maryhurst. And the club really likes him. They think he's got leadership qualities. Everybody on the team responds to him. Stays in the pocket. He'll take a big hit. And as you said, the only problem he's had is that secondary read.
That's right. Let's see what he does here, Barry.
3rd and 10 from the 47. This will be the final play. And off of Chambers. He could have had an interception, it looked like that. I don't know why he knocked it down. That's it. The end of the first half. Unlike last year, when they had 69 points scored in the game, we have none. At halftime, it's St. John's nothing, Canisius nothing. You're watching Red Storm football on New York 55.
Here at a very wet and rainy DeSilva Field. Well, earlier this week, I had a chance with two of the players who make this St. John's defense go. One of them, you saw interception by him in the first half, the senior Rich Rodriguez. The other, the junior, a linebacker, Rob Hosine. Rob.
Rich is an awesome player. He makes big plays. He makes interceptions when you need it. He's a great guy, and I love playing with the guy.
He's a great player. He's also, I would consider him also a leader of the team and defense, and he's really a great player, good run stopper, and you know, he's been an exceptional player for us.
Linebacker Rob Feast anchors the middle of the St. John's defense. The junior can be described in one word: intense. Midway through the season, the Long Island native leads the team in tackles. He loves contact.
I just have a good eye for the ball. I don't know, wherever the ball is, I see it, I just go to the ball. I just want to get to the ball and just make the big plays, you know?
You're a hard hitter from what I've seen. Do you like making those hits?
Oh, I love it, you know, it's part of the game. You gotta love that part.
Besides being a good tackler, the 3-year starter is the leader of the pack for the Red Storm D.
I just tell the guys, yo, you can't make mistakes. If you do make a mistake, you just gotta get up and forget about the mistakes and just play really hard. You gotta play football. You love the game, you know, and you just gotta play hard.
He's a team leader, a throwback type kid. He's just a tough kid in the trenches. He goes after people and makes plays at the play from tackle to tackle. For one reason, like most good athletes, he has so much pride. But every day in and day out, drill after drill in practice, he just wants to perform at his best.
Rich Rodriguez has started all 4 years at St. John's. He's the heart and soul of the Red Storm defense. The senior needs 1 interception to break the school record he shares with Kurt Ditzler and Frank Savelli.
You ever think when you came here that, you know,
you might be able to put your name in the record books?
No, I had no idea it would even come close to this. I wanted to come in and try to give my best effort and hopefully get some playing time. I had no idea it would even come close to any type of records.
Richie, a little bit of a contrast to Robbie. Richie's a little more laid-back personality-wise and lets his play speak for itself. He has 14 interceptions now, which ties for a career lead here at the university, and hopefully he'll get at least one more before he's finished. And he's been a great kid. He also is a team captain, team leader, and we're just very, very pleased we've had him for 4 years.
Rodriguez carries a 3.2 grade point average in his major of criminal justice. He's been nominated for an NCAA postgraduate scholarship. The Brooklyn native has found a home in Jamaica, Queens.
It's been a great experience. I didn't expect, experience to be so great. First year we came in, we won the ECAC championship, which was a great experience, and I thought every year, after that would be the same. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And this year we tried to get back to that level, and I think we came pretty close. So hopefully, the rest of the season, try to win the rest of the games.
This season, Coach Bob Burka has started as many as 5 freshmen on defense, but the coach knows he has a safety net in number 40, junior Rob Feast, and number 20, senior Rich Rodriguez.
We've been starting week in and week out 4 and 5 freshmen on defense, so to have kids that they can look up to, kids that have been through the wars, means an awful lot. Many times responses, kids just can't talk about a response to a situation. They have to see it, and when they see these kids respond favorably, then it adds to their ability.
Rob Feast, Rich Rodriguez, 2 players who make the St. John's defense work. No score here at halftime. You're watching St. John's football on WLNY in New York 55. But tomorrow here in the New York City area, we will have the New York City Marathon. And joining me now, Father James Marr from St. John's University. And Father Marr, you're going to be running in the marathon. Tell me about it.
Well, I will be, CJ. This will be my 4th marathon, and we have about 15 runners who are running in what we call the Run Against Hunger, where we use an event like the New York City Marathon with all of its great energy and creativity and diversity, and really try to spotlight real human need, hunger and poverty.
Well, the Run Against Hunger benefits the St. John's Bread for Life program. Can you tell me about that?
Sure, I could. Yeah, it's a program that's been in existence about 10 years, and what we try to do is create an environment in which people can come. Between 800 and 1,000 people a day come for a hot meal. They can also receive other kinds of services, referrals, HIV/AIDS support, employment counseling, and a real holistic and healthy environment, and one that really supports and nurtures their dignity.
Now, in order to raise money during the marathon, it's not just you yourself who's running, it's anyone who's running in the marathon. They can have people come in and donate money for them?
Yes, actually, we have about 15 runners running with us, but our Run Against Hunger team is much bigger than that. People who sponsor me or other runners, or people who just support the program through the Run Against Hunger. So we've raised about $45,000 in the last 2 years doing that, so it's been quite successful for us.
Well, if you want to help Father Marr's cause, you can call 718-574-0058. That's the Run for Hunger, 718-574-0058. Now, Father Marr, you're also involved with athletics here at St. John's. How do you balance sort of what you do and the athletes, and tell me about that?
Sure. Well, what's interesting about it, CJ, is where the soup kitchen is located in Bedford-Stuyvesant is the original site of St. John's University, founded in 1870. So there's a natural, great convergence of heritages. And both form St. John's, and St. John's Bread and Life formed by the Vincentian community of St. Vincent de Paul. So there's a great convergence of missions, and a lot of our students and our faculty and administrators and our athletes do tremendous community service in New York City, and one of the places that happens is St. John's Bread and Life.
Well, it sounds like you're a very busy man, but where do you find time to train?
Well, early in the mornings or lunchtime or late at night, and I just try to carve that space out and hold it. And it's a nice time to kind of go off and be by myself for a little while and do some running and get my thoughts together. So it works out good. It works out for the people I work with, and it works out for me.
Well, I know I run a couple of miles a day, but nothing like the New York City Marathon. Tell me what that experience is like.
Well, what I say to people, CJ, is it's really like seeing New York from the inside out. You just go through different neighborhoods, and you might see an Irish band in one neighborhood, you might see a Latino band in another neighborhood, and it's just a tremendous celebration of the diversity and the creativity of New Yorkers, I think, and so it's just a tremendous way to see New York.
Oh, Father Murray doing a fantastic job to run against hunger. Tomorrow you'll be in the New York City Marathon. I hope it's not as wet as it is here today at the Silver Field.
CJ. Thank you very much.
Well, the rain and the wind creating havoc for both teams, a defensive struggle. No score here at halftime. We'll be back with more halftime festivities. Barry Landers will be joined by Reverend Donald Harrington after this.
Rainy day, and we have no score. St. John's against the Canisius Golden Griffins. And right now I am joined by Father Donald Harrington. Father Harrington, the ninth year that you've had the helm here at St. John's University. A man coming home because you're a Brooklyn fellow and you went up to Niagara University, spent some time up there, came back here to St. John's in 1989, and it's been an exciting 9 years for you, hasn't it?
It truly has, Barry. Very exciting. It's always good to be back in New York, though.
Well, going into the next century, certainly St. John's has been very busy. One of the things that I know that you're delighted about is the dedication today of the field officially. It's going to be named the De Silva Field here at St. John's University, honoring a former outstanding hockey player from back in the late 70s, early 80s.
That's correct. John De Silva was a great hockey player, still I believe, the highest scorer ever in our history. And his father really wanted to memorialize his son and his son's special affection and dedication to St. John's. And so the father has endowed several scholarships at St. John's, given us the funds to put in the new AstroTurf, the new field, and has just been a wonderful, wonderful supporter. And it's important for any university to have individuals who will, in a sense, permanently bond themselves with the university by putting their names on a facility or on a building. And so it's an exciting day for us, especially when we're memorializing someone as special as John De Silva was.
Well, he was a special individual, and I know that sports here at St. John's has had a terrific tradition. It's a very important part of this largest Catholic university in the country. And as you look ahead to the future, I know that there are things that are on the planning board as far as improving things here.
That's correct, Barry. You know, one of the things that I am most conscious of is that athletics are not only important for the students and for the university community, but they're very important for the local community too. While we have many Division I programs in the New York City area and on Long Island, really we are New York City and Long Island school. We're the ones that people look to, the basketball team in particular, not a soccer team. So we know that we're not just for the university community. And so as we look to the future, we believe that we have to enhance everything at St. John's, the academics first and foremost, but also our athletic facilities and the overall service to our students in the local community. So as we look back at the year we just completed, we had our soccer championship, very exciting, Big East championship in men's baseball. Something we're probably most proud of was our women's volleyball team, top all-academic in the whole nation, top academic team in the nation 2 years in a row.
One of the things that has been impressive about St. John's to me is the diversity here. Diversity of students, it's a real melting pot. There's a lot of energy here at this university.
A lot of energy and a lot of excitement. I always like to say that St. John's mirrors New York City. And therefore students who come here have that very positive experience of experiencing that diversity. And again, that's why we're planning a lot of improvements in athletic facilities as well as other facilities as we go forward.
And this is a very busy day. The soccer team is playing here tonight. You promised the soccer guys you're going to be out here. You've got the tip-off dinner.
Tip-off dinner also, that's right.
And there's a lot of excitement concerning the basketball team, certainly this year.
There really is. Of course, it's always a little early. You never know about injuries, etc., but I am very confident that we are on a very good path in terms of men's and women's basketball teams, both. There's a lot of excitement, but it's based in reality. It's not just dreams.
Well, if you want to come down and find out about the tip-off dinner, there might be a ticket or two left. You can call the number that's on the screen right now. We're chatting with Father Donald Harrington, the president of St. John's University. And as you look to the academic side here at St. John's, I know you've done some things with the law school. There have been a lot of improvements, capital improvements. In fact, you were telling me before that you've been traveling, globe-trotting all over the world to St. John's.
That's correct. Because we have alumni and friends all over the whole world. And much of our support for the university, I have no problem doing that, going out and asking people to support us, because it's for our students. And it's to ensure a better future for them. So I'm very, very happy to do that type of thing. Academically, we're very strong, but we can always be better. Technology is a big part of the challenge now, to make sure that permeates all that we do as a university.
Well, Father Harrington, thank you for joining us. continued success in all of your programs, academic and athletic, and we're happy to have you as a partner with Channel 55.
Thank you, Barry. We're very grateful to Channel 55 for all they do for us.
All right, we'll be back with more from St. John's University at halftime. It's the Red Storm and the Golden Griffins scoreless on New York 55. On University, Jamaica, New York, where the Red Storm are playing in a storm.
Yes, they are.
And it has been terrible from the outset here. We have no score. Canisius Golden Griffins and the Red Storm of St. John's. We'll take a look at the halftime stats. And in this weather, we mentioned 69 points, about 650 yards last year by these two teams. Not a whole lot of offense today.
23 total yards for Canisius. 0 passing yards. All their yards coming on the ground. Look at the first downs. A total of 6. 2 for Canisius, 4 for St. John's. Terrible in the third down conversions. They've had 11 punts here in the first half. That is a big number, and that's, the weather.
Well, the weather a big factor. St. John's missing 2 field goal opportunities, and not a lot of highlights to show you in that first half. One highlight for St. John's was Richie Rodriguez setting a school record with his 15th interception, setting up a St. John's possible score.
Watch to the left, number 20, Rich Rodriguez, catches the floater by Brian Rowland. Really the only completion he had in the first half, and it was to the St. John's defensive back, the senior Rich Rodriguez, his 15th interception, breaking the record he shared with Kirk Ditzler and Frank Savelli.
The Red Storm unable to take advantage. Remember the big 15-yard penalty. They had goal to go at the 5-yard line, and they missed on the field goal. Timeout. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment on New York 55. Sparrows caught those 2 big touchdown passes. St. John's rallied to win that game coming from behind, won 4 straight, and then as you see the rain pouring down on the sideline, then lost last week in a game up at Siena. Well, today's game in the rain is being brought to you by the Tri-State GMC Truck Dealers, comfortably in command. And by I Love New York.
I'll tell you, Barry, when you look at some of the stats for the individual stats, and Nick Adinolfi, he's in on 48% of the total plays all season for Canisius. Well, they've had 28 total plays on offense here in the first half. 14 times he's touched the ball. All rushing, he's gained 50 yards for a net 46. Canisius is playing to their game plan. Give the ball to Adinolfi and let's see what happens.
Well, you look at the net yards as we talked about earlier. 23 net yards in the first half for the Golden Griffins. Last week they had 18 yards total offense in the first half against Fairfield, and it was Rowland coming off the bench despite that sprained knee to spark him in the second half. But they've had the lead in every one of their games in the fourth quarter this year. In their 4 losses, they've had the lead.
That's right. Against Gannon and against Siena, against Georgetown, against Fairfield, they led the game at one point in the fourth quarter. Against Gannon, they were up 9-7. Against Siena, they were up 31-27 with about 5 minutes to go. They lost that one 41-38. That was a heartbreaker. They were up by 7-3 with 12 minutes to go against Georgetown.
That's a big story.
Yeah, and they were up by a point against Fairfield.
Well, last week it was the fourth quarter drive in the closing seconds that really ruined a potential victory as Fairfield came up with the victory, 21-14. Couple of penalties hurt him. Lou Carnesecca, the former St. John's basketball coach, attired in a great raincoat and nice cap, has come up to the broadcast booth and has joined us for a moment. And Louis, you trying to get out of the rain, huh?
Let me tell you, the last time I saw a storm like this was in 1945, a typhoon on the Japanese Sea.
Louis, it's great to have you. I know you come to a lot of the games. We saw you earlier at a St. John's game. Not a great day. It's a day for hunting ducks maybe out here.
Let me say this. It's unbelievable these young men get out there and play. Give you credit.
It is indeed. Stay with us for a moment. Soto's kick will be fumbled and then finally picked up. And St. John's trying to stop the play, and they will at the 25-yard line. As the kick is returned to the 25-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10. Shane Hurd on the return. Louis, I know that you're also at this tonight's the big tip-off basketball dinner, and you're really enthused about the St. John's Red Storm basketball team.
I tell you, we're going. I never put the horns on anybody, but I feel very good about this team. I think there's good experience. We've got some fellows who are going to be leaders, and those young kids coming up are going to make a great contribution.
Well,
so I'm looking for us to do big things this year.
Tonight's the tip-off dinner, the first game you'll see on New York 55 on November the 15th as they take on Lafayette. And the ball carried by Nick Adenolfi. It'll be a short pickup. Did you see any of the scrimmage the other night? They had a scrimmage.
Well, I didn't see it, but I heard reports some of the young guys look good. I thought Xander Holm has played very well. Felipe's hitting his jump shot. And, of course, Tariq is going to be a steady influence there. And those young kids are going to be good.
Artist looks pretty good.
The future. We got some young people who are going to make us happy.
All right, it's 2nd and 8. As they stay on the ground, and will pick up very short yardage to around the 26-yard line. They get the 28, Barry Landers, joined by Lou Carnesecca. And carrying the ball was Garrick Loveria, number 4, into the ball game for the first time as a tailback. Louis, what are you doing these days?
Very little. I work for Father Harrington. We do go around and talk to the alumni. We're trying to get some things done here at St. John's, and I think it's going to really come along very well, the building process and everything else. I mean, the university is looking for the 21st century. So there is a great, great interest to build this place up.
First completion of the day to Joe Spiranak across midfield to the 48-yard line. Louis, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you at the St. John's games this year.
Thank you, Barry. Lots of luck to you.
Thank you. Lou Carnesecca joining us. CJ, it's a pleasure to have the coach with us. Delightful guy, and just a pleasure to have join us in the booth.
It really is. There'll be many memories watching him coach on the sideline all those years for St. John's. It's a great guy.
Joe Spiranak with the completion there inside St. John's territory. Adenolfi with the pitch. Trying to turn the corner on the far side and driven down at around the 41-yard line. A gain of 7. So it took Rowland on his 11th try to complete his first pass, but he made it a big one as he passed for some 32 yards downfield to Spiranak, who caught his 12th pass of the year. So it'll be at the 41-yard line, 2nd and 3. Canisius Golden Griffins on their best drive of the afternoon in this game, filled by punts. 11 punts in the first half. On the delayed draw, Adenolfi tripped up in the backfield. St. John's getting excellent penetration. Rob Feast coming up with the stop. And it'll set up a 3rd and short yardage situation.
I want to tell you, the big play was the pass to Joe Spiranak. He is their deep threat. He's fast, and he was open before, and Canisius is in business, 3rd and 3. Critical 3rd down. They only made 1 in the first half of their 3rd down conversion.
He's replaced Justin Drew, who we mentioned earlier. Their leading receiver got hurt earlier in the year. 3rd and 3 from the 41-yard line. Single setback, man in motion. Here's the pitch flag on the play. Adenolfi trying to pick up the first down. Turned the corner. St. John strung it out beautifully. He did not pick up the first down. Excellent defensive play by Kenny Kraft, one of the leading tacklers, number 19, who came up from his safety spot, and also Rob Feast from his linebacker position.
Well, it will be interesting to see what the penalty is called, and I think if it's against Canisius, I would decline it.
It is against Canisius. Referee Steve Matarati indicating procedure call. Illegal movement in the backfield. Adenolfi has gained 54 yards on 17 carries. St. John's indeed declines the penalty. And it'll be a punting situation for Wisco. As Morton will be the deep man. Wisco punted 6 times in that first half. 56 was his longest, averaging over 38 yards a kick. Standing back at his own 49-yard line. Looks to get it down the sideline. Morton takes it on the run at the 8-yard line. Tries to cut back, bounces off a tackle. Morton down the sideline and finally knocked out of bounds after a nice return. And he was finally knocked out by the kicker, Aaron Wisco, knocking him out.
Well, Morton really made
by Wisco. Timeout on the field. We'll be back. St. John's has a first down early in the second half. We have no score.
on their head, keep their hair dry.
Oh, yes, they've got another game tonight, the soccer game, and they've got the tip-off dinner. While we were away, 2 plays run by St. John's. Creighton gaining 5 yards on 2 carries. It's 3rd and 5, movement on the line, and we're going to get a call right here. St. John's was moving on the right side of the line, and we'll await the official's call here from Steve Matarante. It will be an illegal procedure against St. John's, so that'll cost him 5. So instead of being 3rd and 4, it'll be 3rd and 9.
And a 5-yard penalty on a day like today is almost as big as a 15-yard penalty.
Good point, yep. In case you're just tuning in, St. John's had 2 good scoring opportunities twice in the first half. They got down to the 5-yard line. Once they missed a 22-yard field goal, Christian Soto. The next time they were hit with a 15-yard penalty, moved them back to the 20, and they missed a 42-yard field goal. Levine on 3rd and long, incomplete, trying to throw up the middle, looking for Gus Cheliotis, and St. John's will be forced to punt for the 6th time themselves.
And that's what happens with a 5-yard penalty. Instead of being, 3rd and 4, and you throw that 4-yard penalty, 4-yard pass you're going, you could get a first down if completed. Even if they had completed the pass, they weren't even close to a first down.
Houston averaged 33 yards on his 5 punts in the first half. He'll punt this one from about the 25-yard line. Watulewicz is back. High, spiraling kick way over the head of Watulewicz. Bounces on the wet turf. We'll be back. Right now, we've got 9:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. We're scoreless on New York 55.
It's almost election day, so this year why not celebrate and choose savings for yourself? Huffman Crew's Election Day sale is on now, with savings throughout the store, plus there's no payments or interest till $19.99. Just think, after you come back from the polls, you can curl up on your new sofa or bed, or enjoy looking at your new family room furniture. Don't hurry, the big sale ends November 4th. Huffman Crew's, comfort and style for a lifetime.
With its remarkably smooth ride, concert quality CD sound system, power sunroof, and 8-way power seats. Can you find the truck in this picture? Of course, at your GMC dealer. Presenting the new 1998 GMC Jimmy. See your GMC dealer today.
Back at rainy St. John's University, we have no score. Canisius and St. John's locked in the scoreless duel. 9:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. The rain and wind continues to come down here at St. John's University. First attempt for Canisius at their own 34-yard line. Inside handoff in St. John's. Zito, one of the men who got in. John Unitas was the ball carrier.
Greg DiCarlo was in on that one.
Greg DiCarlo, number 52, also coming up with a big play. He is filling in for Mike Simone, who's out with a thumb injury, actually had surgery this week. Greg, a sophomore from Smithtown, New York. So it's 2nd and 11 from the 33-yard line. Unitas is the fullback, and Adolphi the tailback. Play action fake, and it'll be complete. 2nd reception, but now it's dropped by the receiver Justin Ditzel, their leading receiver. Number 83, the tight end. So quarterback rolling now 1 for 12. Just that 32-yard pass to Spiranac earlier.
Well, 19, Ken Kraft got a hand in there, knocking the ball away, getting his hand on the receiver's arm. Incomplete. Good play by the defense.
So St. John's, let's see if they blitz here on 3rd and 11.
If they're going to blitz, Barry, watch for number 24. Anthony Zito lining up on the left side. Here he comes in the middle.
Now Zito shuffling. You see him, number 24 on the left side. Rolling with Zito putting some pressure on throws. He's got a receiver, and it is going to be complete for a first down. Spiranac coming up with his 2nd reception, and he went up high in the air, the 6'1", 192-pound junior, and they say he jumps well, and he really made a nice catch there.
Oh, another nice play by Canisius. Watch to the left of your screen. You'll see Anthony Zito come in. He doesn't get there. Ball thrown up in front of Ken Kraft, number 19 for St. John's. Good catch by Joe Spiranac, right in his breadbasket. Nice play.
Well, they say he doesn't have great hands, but he certainly made a nice catch there.
Didn't need him thrown right into his chest.
1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. They'll stay on the ground at Analfi. No gain, stopped at the line of scrimmage by the Red Storm. And again, Kenny Kraft coming up from the secondary to make the stop. Feast also in on the play. Rob Feast, number 40.
Well, we've seen already in the second half the combination of Rowland and Spiranek for two very good gains. They go back to Adinolfi. I wouldn't be surprised if they try and hit number 2, just Spiranek again.
Well, you have to go back almost 70 years for the last time that St. John's has played a 0-0 tie. That was against Providence back in 1928. 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line. Rowland to throw, pressured by Profit. Adinolfi and Feast got enough of him to bring him down as he picked up short yardage to around the 49-yard line, where it's a pickup of 4, setting up a 3rd, and let's call it 6. So Adinolfi coming out of the backfield. He was their second leading receiver coming into the game with 18 receptions, but only averaging about 5.6 yards per catch.
Rather than the quarterback, Brian Rowland, touching the ball every time, taking a snap, Adinolfi gets it about half the time. It really is. They're a one-dimensional offensive team about Adinolfi. He's a very good player, but I like the success they've had with number 2, Joe Spiranek, working on Floyd Chambers on the outside on the left.
Well, they've picked up a couple of third down plays. Let's see if they get it here on 3rd and 6. Rowland looking for the sideline, this time out of the hands of Spiranek, and goes incomplete. This time he was defended on the play by Floyd Chambers, number 37.
Oh, and we had said earlier, Brian Rowland locks onto a receiver, doesn't look for a 2nd and 3rd, and he was looking for Spiranek all the way. You know, with all that wind behind you, you got a strong arm, you throw it in there, that ball kind of sailed on him, and it was incomplete.
So Wisco will punt for the 7th time, standing back at his own 35-yard line. James Morton, the deep man for St. John's. High snap, and he gets this one away. Morton will watch this one bounce, and it takes a bounce down at the 1-yard line. It did not go into the end zone, went out of bounds at the 1-yard line. A 48-yard kick hitting St. John's back to the 1-yard line.
Well, that's when you just look up and you say, great kick. There really isn't you can do much with that one. Morton did the right thing. He can't field that ball around his 4-yard line. You have to hope it goes into the end zone for a touchback. You start at the 20. It didn't. This will be a problem for St. John's. They really have to get the ball out of their end zone.
Well, St. John's has not turned the ball over very much this year. Only 11 turnovers, and they don't want to turn it over here. This is a team that forces a lot of turnovers, remember. Here's Levine, barking out signals. Keena was moving, and the handoff to Creighton, but Keena was moving. And how much can you penalize him? Half the distance to the goal line? What about a couple of inches? The ball was at the half-yard line to begin with.
I think so. But you know what? Strangely enough, this is the best scoring opportunity Canisius has had all afternoon. We'll take another look. You'll see the fullback, number 34, Patrick Keenan, moving. Can't do that. That's a problem. I'd say quarterback sneak. Get a yard and work from there. This is real dangerous territory for St. John's.
Don't want to give up a safety. Levine trying to push forward. There's another flag on the play. Canisius was trying to get in there quickly to possibly get a tackle in the end zone. And we'll see what referee Steve Mataranti has as our call. Illegal procedure again against St. John's. So the young offensive line, a little bit rattled perhaps here. Pushed back to the goal line. We have no score with 5:41 to go in this third quarter. Mark Levine completed his first 2 passes. He's got 0 for 5, and there you see his numbers.
3 for 8, 22 yards. He's in a tough spot here.
Levine just trying to push out forward, nowhere to go. As Fleece plugged the hole very quickly. Mike Fleece, number 24. Maybe they picked up a half a yard on the play.
Well, a half a yard means something. You don't really want to hand the ball off in your own end zone. And let's say, Brian Swatlin or Scott Dockett, Mike Thada, and these are big guys who are quick and can get into the backfield. You have 2 points, you could lose this game.
Yeah, Peter DeLeo checks into the ballgame with a play from the sideline for St. John's. Levine handing off, and Creighton tackled. Did they get him in the end zone? Let's see. They say his forward progress got it to the 2. Max Carey and Bill Goldsworthy, the linebackers, combining on the stop. Forward progress marked at the 2-yard line.
I can't remember the last time I saw a punt really change the momentum of a game. And in weather like this, the punt is the reason. We'll take another look here. Creighton running as hard as he can just to get out of the end zone right there. And he's locked up the 2-yard line, 3rd and 9.
Now let's see if St. John's dares to put it in the air here. Needing a first down, and Levine with a short drop will look for the far sideline. It's almost intercepted. Darian Knoll had the ball, dropped it. The intended receiver was Steve Calbert, number 12.
St. John's escapes for the moment. Darian Knoll had it in his hands, and he could not hold on. He should have had that one, Barry.
Knoll has one of the 11 interceptions this team has this year. They set an NCAA record last year with 27 interceptions. Houston to punt. They're coming here with 10 men at the line of scrimmage. Houston will get this kick away. Nobody back there to field the kick, and it goes to the far side. A man goes down on the sideline. Was that Coach?
Looked like Coach from here. That's Chuck Williams.
Chuck Williams, happy to see that ball float. He says, we're going to get great field position. And he went down on the play. He made the play, took the hit to make the play there.
Hey, this coach will do anything. Head coach for the first time in his entire career, spent 35 years as an assistant. You know, if he could put the pads on, he'd get out there himself.
So St. John's defense tested here. The field position at the 27-yard line. Make it to 26. Rolling now 3 for 15. All those completions here in the second half. He was 0 for 10 in the first half. They'll stay on the ground. Randolphi is tripped up behind the line of scrimmage. Nick Adinolfi. St. John's getting excellent penetration. Zito was in quickly on the play.
St. John's thought there was a fumble on that play, but the refs are saying he was down.
Greg Del Colo, also number 52. So clock continues to tick with 4:05 to go. Adinolfi has carried 20 times for 56 yards.
Well, out here on the left, Rodriguez going up against Spirnak. Spirnak has 2 big catches here in the 3rd quarter.
Toss sweep, and this is Thompson trying to turn the corner, and he's down. Feast got a piece of him and made a big play in the open field.
Well, the leading tackler for St. John's, Rob Feast, he's the man in the middle that controls this defense. He calls the defensive plays, getting through, getting to Thompson quickly and pulling him down. 3rd and 10.
Thompson has carried the ball 3 times for -9 yards. He'll check out of the ball game right now. Adinolfi back in. Spirnak will line up wide to the right. 3rd and 10 from the 24. 2 wide receivers to the near side. Passing situation. Rolling with Zito hitting him as he unleashed the ball. Throws incomplete. Zito, just as he got to him, the ball was unloaded, and the pass was intended for the fullback, John Unitas.
Well, they ran Spirnak underneath. You'll see it here. Now watch Anthony Zito get to the quarterback as quickly as he can, and that really disrupted the play.
This will be a 41-yard attempt. The ball will be spotted, make it a 42-yard attempt at the 32-yard line. Bukowski, 5 for 8 in field goals, has range up to 50 yards. Menudo is the holder. 42-yard attempt, snap mishandled. Menudo in trouble. Kraft's got him wrapped up at the 40-yard line. The field, the St. John's defense is held. They take over 1st and 10 at the 40 when we return in this scoreless 3rd quarter.
A few years ago, I was completely lost.
Could not be handled properly by Menudo.
Well, St. John's dodging a bullet there after the difficult circumstances for their punter. The kicking game working against Canisius there.
St. John's much better field position from the 40. Levine in trouble. Now throwing downfield for Cheliotis. Incomplete at the 32-yard line. Levine was being chased on the play and was able to get that ball off. And putting the pressure on was Mike Fata, number 93.
Well, I tell you, I think St. John's got away with one there. Number 17, Hakeem Games. He really had a hold, I thought, of number 93, Mike Fata. The referee didn't see it that way, didn't throw the flag. Incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Haven't had too many penalties in this game despite the terrible weather conditions, and we've been joined in our booth, and we'll chat with him in a moment, by Dave Mason, the St. John's soccer coach. They'll be playing in this horrible weather tonight against Villanova. in a crucial game. St. John's trying to wrap up the Big East Championship. Mark Levine screening it, and it is going to be incomplete, almost intercepted. Scott Dockett and Brian Swatland were there putting pressure on, and that ball looked like it was going to be picked off.
Well, I tell you, Brian Swatland, number 94, you can't miss him, you can't move him. He's nearly 300 pounds, 6'4", and take a look left side of your screen. There he goes. He had a hand on it, and he couldn't hold on. Maybe he thought he saw that end zone, the red of the St. John's end zone, and he's like, I can do it, but he couldn't hold on.
One of the leaders in turnover ratio, but unable to come up with a turnover there. 3rd and 10 from the 40-yard line for Levine. Rolling, looking, and this one out of the hands of DeLeo, the intended receiver, up at midfield. P.J. Rakoski on the coverage. And Dave Mazur, as you join us, congratulations on another fine season. We've had the pleasure of televising a couple of your games, and team playing very well going into tonight's game.
Thank you very much, Barry. It's going to be an interesting game tonight. The weather conditions, the wind is galing. And it's going to be an interesting game for us. We needed to win the Big East regular season title. That's been one of our goals all season, so it's an important match.
Coach, how do you feel your club is as you get toward the end of the season, the regular season, looking to the Big East tournament and the NCAAs?
Well, we've had some injuries. Danny Parkin's been out. He got his knee scoped. He had some cartilage damage in there. And so he's going to be coming back possibly tonight or next week, so we're anxious about that. And Jesse Van Soren's been hurt. So I think it's given some other people some opportunity to play and get some quality minutes. So hopefully that'll give us some depth as we go forward.
Yeah, as we watch the field, the wind conditions, the rain, how does that change the strategy and how you want to play it in the game tonight?
It's very similar to like a football game, and you just have to make sure that you're very safe and secure in everything you do. You don't want to lose the game. You want to make sure that you play a very solid game. You got to make sure you concentrate on all the little things that you take for granted. Your clearances, your pressure on the ball, your good passing. So all the fundamentals have to be very good.
All right, kick by Houston. So Canisius gets it at the 48-yard line, 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line. No score late 3rd quarter. Rolling to throw as a man open. Complete at the 41-yard line. It'll be enough for another first down. Michael Menudo on the reception as he picks up about 14 yards on the play.
Oh, he was wide open underneath Barry. The middle of the St. John's defense just opened up. No one was around him. That was a good call. Canisius, they've seen something. They're going to try and exploit it.
Roland looking a lot sharper here in this second half, TJ. So it's 1st and 10 at the 40-yard line, let's call it. 2 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Here's the pitch. Broken up in the backfield by Zito. Zito got in so quickly to disrupt that play, and they'll end up losing about 5.
I'll tell you, Anthony Zito was there when the running back was catching the pitch, and Nick Adelante didn't have a chance. Let's watch him again. I've said this earlier. I think Zito knows to snap it down occasionally. Watch him come in, and he's there already. And he slows him up just enough. Holtz is there, and so is Feast. They make the play.
Holtz, Feast, and Zito. How often do you mention that trio making tackles? Loss of 3, so it's 2nd and 13 for Canisius. At the 44-yard line, rolling to throw. Wanted to dump it off to Adenalfi, and now hit as he throws it. Holtz forcing to get rid of that ball. Adenalfi was open, and he couldn't complete it.
Well, on that play, Canisius was so aware of Anthony Zito. They had 2 players blocking him. One of them was John Unitas, who was blocking on the right side. That opened it up to the left side, but Brian Willard didn't have a chance to hit his receiver.
All right, Dave Mazur, you watch this game. I want to wish you continued success. We're going to bring back another championship this year?
Yeah, that's our intention, Barry.
All right, David, it's been a pleasure to have a couple of your games on New York 55. Good luck in the Big East tournament.
Thank you very much.
Dave Mazur, coach of St. John's outstanding soccer team, rolling to throw up the middle, high in the air, and it's going to be picked off by Kraft. At the 30, to the 40, still in bounds, down the sideline, and Kraft loses the football. It's still bouncing around on the far side. Canisius thinks they have it at the 36-yard line. What a wild play. Kenny Kraft coming up with the interception, then fumbling the ball on the return. And let's see who's going to get this football here. Canisius on the far side thought they had it. They're on Kyle here. We'll watch along with you. Still waiting for the indication by the officials. I think they're going to flip a coin. It's really hard to tell. It will be St. John's ball. His knee was down, and then the fumble occurred after the ball. He went down. That's the only explanation. A big play. We'll get a chance to see it. Now watch center of your screen. The ball will be tipped. Ken Kraft will be there to make the interception. Right there. Josiah Mooney, number 17, a nice play. And there he goes. Let's see if his knee was down. Awfully close. Back to the live action. Creighton for St. John's will pick up about 3. Stopped by Mike Futta. So St. John's coming up with the interception. And it was a big one. Let's see if they can take advantage of the turnover here with 39 seconds to go in this third quarter. I think St. John's got 2 breaks there. One, a break they made on their own. Josiah Mooney, nice play to deflect the ball. Ken Kraft having the presence to get it. But I don't think he was down before that ball came out. I thought that was a live ball. For Kraft, it was his 3rd interception of the year. So St. John's with 2nd and 7. 19 seconds to go in this third quarter. Mark Levine barking out signals. Levine throwing to the near sideline for Cheliotis. Incomplete. P.J. Rakoski on the coverage. Mike Futta again putting pressure from the defensive end position. Well, right there, Cheliotis wasn't looking for the ball. He didn't look back for it. Something wasn't right there between quarterback and tight end. St. John's will get the win when they go to the fourth quarter in just 6 seconds. Levine just 3 for 12 for 22 yards. Remember, he completed his first 2 passes. This will be the final play of the quarter. Draw play for Creighton. Dances to the outside. Slips as he tried to cut back on the wet turf. Max Carey will cover him up. And we'll be back with fourth quarter action. Time out of the field. After 3 in the rain. It's St. John's nothing, Canisius nothing on New York 55. Mike Houston with the St. John's punt on 4th and 5. And it goes out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. And we're joined early in the fourth quarter by Ed Minetta, the athletic director. Not a great day to play football.
No, Barry, it's not, but I'll give it a lot of tribute to our fans. They're still here, and they're cheering us on. But we had a wonderful ceremony with Leon De Silva, so that was what's nice, which we dedicated the field. It was a shame the weather prevented the outside activity, but Mr. De Silva is very touched by what St. John's has done.
And Father Harrington presiding with the plaque.
That was wonderful.
Official plaque naming, official field named. Now on the late draw, Adonalfi spinning and taken down by that tough St. John's defense pretty much at the line of scrimmage. But this is a very exciting, busy time for the soccer team. Can clinch the Big East Championship tonight. We had Dave Mazer on early. You've got the tip-off dinner. Basketball season starts in 2 weeks.
It's, and thank you, the Channel 55 will be with us through all of our seasons. So, of course, we're wishing Dave a lot of luck tonight. And just want to let you and CJ know you'll have a brand new press box next year. By honor of Mr. De Silva, so you'll a little bit more comfortable for you.
2nd and 9 from the 16-yard line, Canisius. Fourth quarter, no score. It was 41-28 last year between these two teams. Roland in trouble and will be sacked by the Red Storm defense. And down at around the 12-yard line. And once again, St. John's doing an excellent job defensively. Well, Elliot Holson, the last 2 plays, has beaten the center, Matt Marriott, and gotten back there and really caused a problem. But tonight, not only the soccer game, but you've got the tip-off basketball dinner hosted by Mike Francesa of WFAN. I guess you're going to have a big crowd here tonight.
Close to 375 people, Barry, so we're really excited. Very interactive. Kids will be able to get autographs from both teams. The men and women will be there, Charlene and Franny.
And Roland to throw on 3rd down, and they'll pick up a couple of yards on the screen pass. And once again, Adonalfi in the middle of everything. And we've got, of course, 4 games that we're going to be televising on New York 55, beginning with the season opener on November 15th against Lafayette. And you'll see St. Francis, Colgate, and we'll be going over to Manhattan.
Yeah, so there'll be a little homecoming for Fran there. That'll have a little special meaning.
Absolutely.
It is. We're really happy to have 55 with us because it really hits the target audience on Long Island. And it's, I think it's been a lot of fun to this point with both soccer and football.
Line drive kick. St. John should get excellent position, but Morton watches this one take a bounce. And again, about a 25-yard roll for Canisius. That ball was kicked about 15 yards, and with the wind and the roll, it ends up at the 35-yard line. Line of scrimmage was the 16-yard line. That turns into about a 50-yard kick, Ed.
I shall tell you, whoever scores first today, right?
Yes, without a doubt, Ed. Well, Ed, I know that you're delighted with Father Harrington. He mentioned the prospect of increased developments here in terms of athletic facilities. I know you've been working hard in that area as well.
Yes, we've done a lot of feasibility studies, and the ultimate goal is to make St. John's the ultimate place. Our fans, our alumni, students that want to come here, not just from the athletic side, but as alumni, to be very proud to come back to their alma mater. So the future looks bright, and we're tremendously excited about it.
Well, St. John's, with 12:43 to go, takes over 1st and 10 at their own 36-yard line. Levine to throw on 1st down to Morton. Morton has a blocker out there, DeLeo, and Morton will get a short yardage pickup to the 40-yard line, about a gain of 4 on the screen pass. Max Carey on the coverage. And, of course, St. John's will have one more game on television on our football coverage, the Thanksgiving morning game against Sacred Heart.
And it's always a good game, Thanksgiving Day, a traditional holiday game. And I'll tell you, Bob Ricka and his troops, despite the controversy, with the MAC conference, these kids have really rolled it out. A lot of tribute to Bob and the players.
Controversy surrounding the opportunity for St. John's to compete this year. They're a member of the MAC conference, but this year's schedule not counting.
Yeah, we're not totally agreeing with that. We're working it through with the conference, and these things happen. Bob and I still believe that St. John's has got the right philosophy, and we'll work it out. But I'll tell you the tip of the hat to the kids, because they have not let it affect them, and maybe in a small way it might have even motivated them, and that's what you like to see. We'll work it through, and that's what St. John's is all about.
Maybe it's something like that can bring a young team together. St. John's starting 4 and 5 freshmen each week on defense.
No question, CJ. It definitely has.
2nd and 5, draw play to Creighton. He needs a big play to get going here. Down the sideline, dragged out of bounds by Knoll, but he picked up the 1st down. And that's what St. John's needs, a little bit of breathing room.
Well, we're not really sure if Jermaine Creighton's going to get that for enough rushing yards to go over 4,000 yards for his career, but right there he got a critical 1st down. Keep the drive alive. St. John's has the win. 11 minutes to go. They score here. This ball game could be over.
Well, the defense for St. John's has been outstanding the last 5 games, giving up just 45 points. Creighton right up the middle, big hole! And Creighton with about 9.5 yards. That was the Jermaine Creighton we're used to seeing. Quick blast right up the middle. What Tulowitz and Knoll will stop.
Well, when the offensive line does a job like you'll see here, up the middle, Donardi, Gordon, Ramos, they open up the hole. Creighton, who loves to run in between the tackles, and he's a hard runner, he can do some damage.
2nd and 1, Creighton now up to 75 yards on 22 carries. 11 minutes to go in the scoreless 4th quarter. Throwing to the far side, Morton hit hard, but will have enough for the 1st down. Picked up about 2 yards. Shane Hurd, who last year had 7 interceptions in 7 games to lead the country, and broke his leg, by the way, against St. John's in last year's game with a hard hit, but Morton held on and picked up the 1st down.
St. John's ran 3 receivers to the right side, 2 went long. That opened it up. Morton, just a freshman, but he knew where the 1st down marker was, got past it, got the 1st down. That's the way to keep the drive alive.
Morton last week, 7 catches for 108 yards against Fairfield, and has replaced Wayne Farris in the starting lineup. 1st and 10 at the 37. Then trips to the left formation. Levine looking that way, throwing. He's got Morton out there. Morton at the 15. Morton at the 10, and out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
And no flags down Barry. A little something extra there between Watulowicz and Morton, but that was a beautiful play.
Threw it over the head of the defender there, and that's the thing, the touch that Levine has on his pass.
And I can't remember the last time St. John's threw on 1st down, and I think that may have caught Canisius by surprise. They had 3 receivers in there. Morton getting to the outside, a perfectly thrown ball. St. John's is in business at their 10-yard line.
So St. John's with goal to go at the 10-yard line. 3rd time they've been downfield. They were stopped at the 5 once earlier. Had to go for a field goal. Creighton trying to turn the corner, uses speed on Rakowski. Creighton dives toward the end zone and knocked out at around the 2-yard line. Knocked out by Max Carey, number 40, but Jermaine Creighton here in the 4th quarter turning it on.
I tell you, what a hit on defense. Here comes Creighton bouncing out to the right. and he's got a full head of steam. And watch the hit coming up, number 40, Max Carey. That hurts. Big hit.
So it is 2nd and goal, 9-yard pickup for Jermaine Creighton. Keena and Creighton behind Levine. St. John's looking to take the lead for the first time in this scoreless game. Creighton turning the corner, but will not get much. He's still there and out of bounds. He went the length of the field trying to turn the corner, and they strung it out nicely. Watulowicz finally knocking him out of bounds.
I think you just saw St. John's respect for the front four of Canisius. The Magala, Swatland, Dockett, Fada, they didn't want to run up the middle and not get anything. They tried to go outside to the left, and they really didn't get it. Those guys, right there, you see him, 94. He's close to 300 pounds. So they were all big, they were all strong.
3rd and goal from about the 1.5-yard line. Creighton again, the single setback. 3 wide receivers to the right. Levine barking out signals. And Creighton will go to the goal line and get in. Creighton will score the touchdown to put St. John's ahead, 6-0. As Creighton comes up with his 5th rushing touchdown of the year, and the Red Storm, with Creighton losing his shoe, gets 6 points on the board.
Well, it couldn't come at a better time. As we saw, they tried to run outside the play before. This time they said, we're going to try and power it through the left side of the St. John's offense. Ramos and Paul, they opened up a little hole. It was just enough, and that's all Creighton needed. Put his head down, got into the end zone. 6 points for St. John's here in the 4th quarter.
Christian Soto to attempt an important extra point. Calbera the holder. Fumbled by Calbera. He's a quarterback, remember. He puts it up in the air, and it'll be intercepted. Ruskowski, and he'll be down in the end zone. Loses the ball, and so the extra point try goes for naught. We'll be back with more from St. John's to Silver Field. The Red Storm have scored first and lead it 6-0. Flanders along with C.J. Papa and St. John's Athletic Director Ed Mineta. And I know the basketball season just around the corner. We mentioned 2 weeks away. The tip-off dinner tonight. And you had a scrimmage the other night, and you play Marathon Oil on Tuesday. Right. A lot of excitement on campus.
Oh, tremendous, Barry. We're really looking forward to it. I think Fran is excited. The players are. We're still young, so people can't get too excited too early. But I'll tell you, they're going to see a team that's competitive, that's going to work hard, and we're going to win some games this year. And it's fun. It's the atmosphere. You can just feel the energy. And Charlene is the same thing with our women's program.
You have to be happy with the job so far, right? She'll adjust the 2nd year.
The recruiting that's gone on, CJ, has been tremendous. You know what's going on as far as what we've done. So it's to hit those top players to commit this early is fantastic.
And today's St. John's football game brought to you by the GMC Tri-State dealers, comfortably in command. And St. John's in command right now, 6-0. And also brought to you by I Love New York. Now Canisius shut out here, trying to get things going at an offie. Will get across the 20 to around the 22-yard line, and he has been their bread and butter guy. I want to thank you for joining us, and again, it has been a pleasure to work with you and the St. John's people. We look forward to our remaining football game and the basketball season.
Well, us too. On behalf of St. John's, Barry, CJ, and everyone at Channel 55, thank you for a tremendous job, and we'll win today and tonight and keep on rolling.
All right. Got the St. John's soccer team tonight, and we want to wish them good luck as well. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 8 from the 22-yard line for Canisius. As they work out of the I formation, Unitas is the fullback. Rolling to throw, slant pattern, deflected. Enfis almost came up with the interception. Spurnak was the intended receiver as that ball popped in the air, and St. John's so quick on those deflections, looking for another interception.
Well, I think St. John's defense can smell a victory. Let's take another look. The ball deflected. Rob Feast almost making the play.
3rd and 8. Let's see if St. John's will blitz. They've been very effective today. Ryan Rowland, the sophomore quarterback, did not complete a pass in the first half. He's done a little bit better here, working out of the I formation. Rowland with time, throwing up the middle, threw it behind his receiver. Profit was defending on the intended receiver, Michael Menudo. It'll set up a punting situation.
Well, that's right. And Canisius going into the wind here in the 4th quarter. You can see the trees. You can see the rain. You can see how nasty it is outside. St. John's defense holding there. They should get pretty good field position if they field this punt cleanly.
Rowland is now 5 for 22 for 54 yards. Risco to punt from about his own 12-yard line. Another line drive kick. Morton will watch this one bounce. Finally able to corral it at the 38-yard line. Turns upfield, down the sideline. The exciting freshman out of bounds. Inside Canisius territory at around the 44-yard line. And St. John's will have very good field position.
That was a terrific play by number 29, the freshman, James Morton. That ball on the turf, skipping by him, he reaches out and catches the ball. If he doesn't get that ball, that could go another 10 yards deep into St. John's area, into their half of the field. Instead, he picks it up, and he makes a nice run. That's a 25-yard difference, Barry.
Well, Creighton, the single setback. Good point. And inside hand, a little miscommunication on the handoff there, and Creighton wrapped up the line of scrimmage. But big number 94, what a game Brian Swatland has played today.
Wow.
As he makes yet another tackle.
I think you're right, there was some sort of miscommunication because when Mark Levine went to hand the ball off, Brian Swatland was tackling James Creighton.
Jermaine so far with 26 carries now for 85 yards. No gain there. And he has, of course, the 1-yard touchdown run. Now Chiliotis, number 82, lines up as a receiver to the right side as the right end. 3 wide receivers to the near side flank. Looking for screening it to Morton. Morton gets a block. Morton at the 40, tripped up, and drives forward inside the 40 to the 37. P.J. Rakoski, number 9, and Max Carey, number 40, helping out on the tackle.
A good call by St. John's, a safe pass, the outside. No one's going to get it but Morton. He's really stepped up here in the second half.
Well, Greg Freeman doing a great job as sports producer for New York 55 with C.J. Poppin coming down to help out on occasion in our broadcasts.
It's a pleasure working with him.
Indeed it is. So it is 3rd and 2 from the 36, trying to keep the drive alive. Levine rolling right, being chased. Hit by Fata as he throws. It's going to be intercepted on the far side. Mike Fata with the big play and knocked out of bounds on the near side. Returning it is Mike Fleece, the linebacker, as he comes up with his 2nd interception of the year and the 12th by the Canisius Golden Griffins. What a big play. Watch Fata put pressure on Levine as he throws only his 5th interception of this season.
Well, there you see Levine. This is the time you got to eat the ball. You don't throw it away. If you're going to throw it away, you know you have to throw it out of bounds. Good play by Fata.
And Mike Fliss with the interception. So Canisius at midfield, trailing 6-0 and 7:11 to go. So Brian Rowland will try to get his club on the board here. Sends Spiranac in motion. Here's the pitch to Adinolfi. Adinolfi pulled down by Rob Feast for a loss of 3.
Well, Rob Feast, I asked him when we had a chance to talk and earlier this week, I said, do you have an extra sense for the ball? And he says, well, I don't know about it's a sense. I just always know where the ball is, and that's where I'm going to go. And you saw it right there, number 40, like lightning, following the ball, get by a blocker, and he makes a play for a loss.
Well, he was all-conference, MAC conference as a sophomore last year. Probably be all-conference again this year. Tough. He's your prototype middle linebacker. 2nd and 11, a loss of a yard on the play. 2 wide receivers and a slot to the left. Rowland looking that way now, looking to screen it. Now third up the middle. It's going to be complete for a short gain as he found Michael Menudo, the 5'9 sophomore from Amherst, New York, as he comes up with his 16th catch of the year.
On that play, they ran Jason Prisbiz long, and then Prisbiz getting the play from Chuck Williams. And I tell you, he was open.
Well, indeed he was, CJ. It's 3rd and 7, so another big play in this ball game. 5:55 to go, 4th quarter. Canisius trailing 6-0, facing a 3rd and 6 from the St. John's 46. Rowan flag on the play, throws near sideline. It'll be close to a first down as he completed that pass to Jason Prisbiz. And let's see what the penalty is going to be. There was a flag, the line judge, in legal motion in the backfield. That hurts.
And like we said earlier, we saw it happen to St. John's. It was 3rd and 4. They had a penalty, made it 3rd and 9. Same thing here. A 5-yard penalty. We'll take another look here and see what we can pick up.
Illegal shift. Didn't see it from our end zone camera there. Be that as it may, that is a big loss. It'll be 3rd and 11 now as the ball moved back into Canisius territory. And the ball now at the 49-yard line, their own 49.
When they were in this position before, they went to number 2, Joe Spiranek. He's out here on the right side.
Frisbis and Menudo line up on the left side. Spiranek to the right. With time, Rowland throwing incomplete. He threw it over the head of one of the linemen, Richie Hosine. Went up in the air to try to knock that down. Spiranek was the intended receiver. And it sets up a punting situation. So the St. John's defense again does the job holding after the turnover.
Well, as we saw earlier, how a punt can change momentum when Canisius pins St. John's back to their 1-foot line. If Canisius gets a good punt here into the wind, maybe a shift in field position, a turnover again, they have a chance.
All right, Wisco to punt off the side of his foot, looking to get the bounce here. Keena will watch this one bounce, and it'll die inside the 20 at around the 17 or 18-yard line. 5:28 to go, 4th quarter. The Red Storm cling to a 6-0 lead on New York 55.
With its remarkably smooth ride.
Right now, he's got to keep St. John's in possession of the football. Had a turnover the last time they had the ball through the interception. He's 7 for 19 for only 65 yards under some horrible weather conditions today. And now, we'll get a short handoff as Creighton is stopped after a very short pickup. What St. John's wants to do now is hold on to the football, pick up some first downs, burn time off that clock.
Right, because even if Canisius gets the ball back, if they can burn some of their timeouts, it'll be too far for Canisius to go and try and get a tying touchdown.
Creighton with 25 carries, 85 yards, not including that last play. Didn't gain any there. So he still needs about 35 yards to break 4,000, and he won't get anything right there. The defense again, Brian Swatland. How many tackles has he been in on today? You just can't move that guy.
Well, Coach Bob Ricca has to be a little bit annoyed. There was a little miscommunication there. Levine and Creighton, two experienced guys.
Yep.
Levine the junior, Creighton the senior. That cannot happen when the game is on the line this deep into the 4th quarter.
No mistakes here. 3rd and 8. St. John's trying to go 6-2. They had their 4-game winning streak snapped in a shoddy performance last week in the rain up at Siena. Creighton will stay on the ground, will get back maybe a yard to the 20, stopped by Mike Fata. And once again, the St. John's punting unit coming in. Mike Houston will be punting for the 9th time here.
Well, I tell you, after that offensive set, Bob Ricca is putting this game in the hands of his defense. He's saying, guys, go out there and win it for me.
Now, why not? This defense has given up 12, 11, 7, and 14 points in the last 4 games. And has been outstanding. And pitching a shutout today. Houston will just get this one off. And a fair catch called for by Watulowicz. And we're at the 49-yard line, so Canisius will have excellent field position. They've got to go 51 yards to try to tie this game up.
That's the first time that Houston's had a little bit of time to punt. In the 3rd quarter, punting from the end of his own end zone and just got it away. That time, took a little extra time, got a nice punt.
Well, St. John's has had the better scoring opportunities. They missed 2 field goals. And then on their final opportunity, they cashed in on a Jermaine Creighton 1-yard run. That's the difference in the game right now. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line, rolling with 3:39 to go. Here in the 4th quarter, his club trailing on the draw play. Adenofi down at the line of scrimmage, shoved back for a loss on the play. St. John's, Danny Kelski coming up and doing a nice job coming in from the secondary.
Well, I tell you, Anthony Zito coming in to the left, and he got back to the play. While he didn't make a tackle, I think he causes disruption in the Canisius offense.
Kelski was better against the run. He and Chambers alternate at the left corner spot. And now Floyd Coppola, number 11, winds up as a wide receiver to the left, along with Jason Prisbiz. They're at the top of your screen. Spiranak to the right. Looks like a blitz coming. Here's Zito putting some pressure on. They take him out of the play. Screen to Adenofi trying to get around Profit. Profit with a beautiful open field tackle at the 49-yard line as the clock continues to tick. He didn't get out of bounds. and the clock ticks with 2:42 to go.
Surprised they're not calling a timeout right here. Stop the clock. This is a critical third down in about 8. They have to make this. This is, without a doubt, 2-down territory for Canisius.
St. John's trying to make it 4 in a row over the Golden Griffins and win their 6th consecutive game here at DeSilva Field. Biggest play of the game, 3rd and 8 from the 49-yard line of St. John's. Pressure up the middle by Holtz, and Holtz will sack him back at the 41-yard line. Elliott Holtz doing it again.
Oh, I tell you, Elliott Holtz was in that backfield, and one of the offensive linemen from Canisius, you'll see he has a hand on his jersey. Now watching the center, there's Zito, and right there you see Holtz coming in for the sack.
He is relentless. Had 8.5 sacks coming into play today. Second on the team behind Anthony Zito. And Zito's had 2 today. And Holtz picks up 1 right there.
Really is a terrific player, Elliott Holtz, freshman, who's the nose guard for this team.
CJ, you can't say enough about this St. John's defense. Remember earlier in the year, they got blown out by Fairfield. Stony Brook was moving the ball up and down the field against them. But over the last 5 games, they have come alive. A young defense really meshing.
Well, he's got a nice mix of freshmen and juniors and a couple of sophomores mixed in, just one senior and Rich Rodriguez. So it's a young defense that's growing as the season's getting, as we get into the season. And the one thing you have to like about them is that their freshmen are not playing like freshmen anymore.
Yeah, the only senior is Richie Rodriguez on the entire starting 11. I want to remind you folks that today's St. John's football game is brought to you by New York 55 WLNY. No part of this broadcast may be reproduced without the explicit written consent of WLNY TV. Barry Landers and C.J. Popper reminding you we'll have St. John's basketball coming up 2 weeks from today as the Red Storm open their season against Lafayette, the Leopards, here at Alumni Hall. And St. John's will have a scrimmage, actually a game on Tuesday, an exhibition game against Marathon Oil, which will be open to the public, and tickets available for that. 4th and 15, game on the line right here. Canisius at their own 48-yard line with 2:05 to go. Rolling, hit as he threw it, and who was in there? Anthony Zito.
I tell you, that Anthony Zito has had just another monster game. In there, in the backfield, before Brian Rowland had a chance to do anything, gets a hand on the ball and knocks it out. We get a chance to take another look. Watch Zito come in, pass the blocker, knocks the ball down. Beautiful play by Anthony Zito. St. John's will take over on downs, working at their own. Canisius' 43-yard line.
All right, here we go. Fumble. Creighton fumbles on the first play, and Canisius apparently has gotten it back. We told you this team is known for forcing turnovers. Second one here in the second half. Max Carey with the hit. And St. John's, which turned it over 4 times, 3 on fumbles last week, commits a crucial turnover there. Billy Goldsworthy coming up with the ball, number 45. Max Carey with the hit on Jermaine Creighton to force the fumble.
Well, we talked earlier about some sloppy handoffs. Right here, take a look. Right there, Max Carey was there just as Jermaine Creighton was putting the ball into his stomach. Canisius has a chance with 1:54 left in the game. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line.
Here we go right now. Rowland barking out signals. Rowland with time. Throwing to the sideline. It is going to be complete just at around the 1st down marker. Spiranak, the intended receiver, and it will be enough apparently for a 1st down. So Spiranak, who has been their prime receiver, coming up with the pass. Clock stopped as they moved the chains. 1:44 to go. So it appeared that St. John's was in the driver's seat, but you never know, CJ. Team that hasn't turned it over a whole lot all year, and Jermaine Creighton so sure-handed fumbling that one. Here's Rowland in trouble. Rowland chased to the sideline and alertly goes out of bounds. He was being chased on the far side and finally went out of bounds. Doing the chasing was Richie Hosine, number 92. That will stop the clock.
Well, they still have to go about 42 yards into this stiff wind. This will be a tall order for the Canisius offense, which has really had its problems against the weather, the wind, and the St. John's defense, which has played very well.
1:23 remaining. Right now, 2 timeouts left for Canisius. 2nd and 9 for the Golden Griffins at the St. John's 43-yard line. Rolling with Zito all over a loose ball. They're going to rule it an incompletion. Anthony Zito was all over Brian Rowland, who's down. Remember, he had the sprained knee. Zito getting up slowly, but it is some fun to watch this guy. 5'10", 195, 3-year starter. He is something else.
He's without a doubt the best player in this game. It's like he knows the snap count. He's already there. Rowland doesn't really have a chance, and he forces the incompletion by getting up in the face of the quarterback, Brian Rowland.
3rd and 9 from the 43-yard line. Working out of the I, 3 wide receivers. Rowland pressured by Holtz. Rowland chased by Holtz and loses the football as he was being hit. Zito was there along with Holtz. And picking the football up for St. John's was number 48, Eric Razan, but they're going to rule that he was sacked back at the 47-yard line.
And the clock is running, and I don't know if Canisius realizes this. They haven't called a timeout yet. They have 2 left, valuable time ticking away.
Absolutely.
And now it looks like they've taken a timeout. They let 15 seconds go off the clock. They should have called one right away after the sack.
Poor time management. We'll pick up the number of sacks for St. John's in a moment. Greg Freeman going to check that out and take another look.
Now Rowland is trying to get away from the rush, but the rush catches up with him. Boy, is he fast. Number 72, Elliot Hulson. There you see the man in the air flying around. Anthony Zito just throws his body around.
5th sack. Zito will get a piece of that sack. And a young man from Dix Hills out of Half Hollow Hills High School, super aggressive and a real exciting player to watch. He had 2 sacks in the first half, Zito. So we're down to this, 52 seconds left. As you see Coach Chuck Williams diagramming a play here for the final possible play of this game with 4th and 17 facing the Golden Griffin.
Well, we saw it at the end of the first half, and we definitely seen it here at the end of the game, clock management. You know, at the end of the first half, they let about 20 seconds go off the clock, and it really sort of hampered them in their efforts to try and get a last, ditch Hail Mary pass into the end zone, or maybe a couple of passes downfield and get a field goal attempt. And here after the sack, no one's calling a timeout. The players have to be aware of what's going on the field.
So we're down to this, 4th and 17 from the 47-yard line. Quarterback Brian Rowland with his club trailing 6-0. Look at Zito. He was already across the line of scrimmage.
Well, that time he didn't know the snap count.
Well, when it's 4th and 17, what's 5 yards? So
right.
It doesn't really affect St. John's too much, but maybe that throws a little bit of something into the head of the quarterback. No, this guy's coming, shooting the gap.
Watch number 24. Now you see him. Oops, I'm on the wrong side of the ball. Now you don't.
Ray Krug, the right coach, saying, how did that guy get by me so quickly?
Can't do that.
4th and 12. So now it's 4th and 12 at the St. John's 48. 3 wide receivers to the left, looking that way. Rowland putting it up deep. Out there, Rodriguez. It's going to be intercepted by one of his teammates there. And it looks like it's Josiah Mooney, number 17, coming up with the 3rd St. John's interception. So Mooney comes up with the interception. Time out of the field. We'll be right back with 43 seconds to go. Back here at the Silver Field, where the Red Storm just 39 seconds away from winning their 6th game of the year. It'll be another season for Bob Ricca, over 500 as he continues to play well. Right now, Jermaine Creighton will have numbers like 30 carries for 83 yards, 2-yard touchdown run, the only score of this game.
Well, I tell you, Bob Ricca is a good coach, a successful coach. He loves coaching here at St. John's. He's an institution, so are his teams, especially this one. This one is fun to watch, an exciting defense, Barry.
Mark Levine with his knee down, and the Red Storm will come away with the victory. Their upcoming games for St. John's will include a huge game at Georgetown next week. That is a big game. Georgetown undefeated 7-0 to lead the MAC Conference. St. John's has had some great games with Georgetown in the past, including one of their greatest come-from-behind wins ever about 4 years ago. So the clock winding down, and this one is now history as the Red Storm of St. John's on this rainy, miserable day get a touchdown run from Jermaine Creighton in the 4th quarter a 2-yard touchdown run to beat Canisius by a score of 6-0. And the Red Storm now 6-2. Bob Ricker with a record of 126-75-1.
Well, I tell you, I think Bob Ricker knows what he has on his defense. They are young, they fly to the ball, and they were terrific. They were the outstanding unit this afternoon for St. John's.
And there's Coach Ricker shaking hands with Chuck Williams, the 63-year-old coach who took over 3 years ago. And this has been a good rivalry between St. John's and Canisius. Games have been pretty close over the years they've played. St. John's has now won 4 of the last 5, including 4 in a row.
Well, I tell you, St. John's 6-0. We're lucky to get out of here with all this rain and all this wind. It's a victory. Just walk away and say, all right.
And once again, as you pointed out, the defense, the story, outstanding game again from Elliot Holtz, Anthony Zito, the secondary, Rodriguez, Moody, and Kraft coming up with interceptions. And the Red Storm head off. That'll do it for C.J. Papa. Yours truly, Barry Landers, Greg Freeman, our statistician, our spotter, Mark Gignac from Canisius. Once again, the final score, the Red Storm of St. John's 6 and the Golden Griffins of Canisius 0. We'll see you with more St. John's sports in 2 weeks when the basketball team takes on Lafayette. Until then, this is Barry Landers saying so long. Thanks for watching St. John's Sports on New York 55.